Allison Griffin, Head of Marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by R.C. Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. And, man, we have a packed one up for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out in the world. We'll do that at 3:20 with Woke News. 4 o'clock hour of sports. Our buddy Brandon Kravitz will drop by to talk about the NFL, NCAA, Tom Brady's first day broadcasting, plus so many other things. 5 o'clock hour, it's a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's up for grabs for trivia. We'll end it up with Ray Trenley, and you heard it here first. Plus your calls, text and callbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead, producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. That's where you can watch us do our thing on YouTube. While you're there, please give us a like and subscribe. You can get to it just by going to YouTube and searching The Jim Colbert Show as well. If you leave a talk back, that's easy and it's free and fun. All the kids are doing it. Just get the iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it. See that microphone? Use that to send your comments on down the line. How you guys doing?
Ducky.
Ducky. Jack is 1 foot in the dirt.
In the dirt.
He's 1 foot out the dough.
Oh, yeah.
How was
in
your
the dirt? That sounds like I'm dead. Like one foot in the grave.
I meant to say sand, but you know, we have this kind of understood thing that when somebody goes somewhere or whatever, we try not to, I don't know.
We prefer to talk about it when we get back. When
Yes.
we have
Exactly.
those stories to tell.
Yeah, for
There
sure.
you go. There you go.
407-916-1041. Did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah. Right. Wait. Oh well.
Well, it's opening
Well,
weekend.
I think Deb has a story. Yeah, judging by that snicker.
Yeah.
But yeah. So football, right?
Yeah. Of course, football. Are you kidding?
last night?
Baseball.
Yeah. Baseball was big.
Football, everything, man. It was football, everything. I was out and around this weekend for football, and it was kind of wild. I went to an establishment. I won't say where or what it was.
Oh,
but
something bad happened.
No,
I know,
yeah. Not bad, but I mean, they can't help it. But imagine this. Imagine you wait your entire year for day one of football. And let's say you're a sports bar kind of thing that does this, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh, no.
And let's say you're doing that.
Oh, no.
At around the same time the games are starting,
Oh, no.
a storm rolls through and knocks out your internet and power services, but mostly your internet services. So now you don't have said games
Bummer.
for 45 minutes. So what happens when people are piled up to watch football in a place that can't provide football? They pay their checks and peace out,
Yeah.
which is exactly what happened.
Oh.
So I walked into this place expecting it to be a complete madhouse. And I was like, what is going on? And they told me as soon as football was about to start, the entire thing just
Oh, blue screen of death.
just downshifted.
Friday night. Was
No,
this
is
the Brazil
Sunday.
game? Oh, Sunday night.
Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I met Code Black to watch the Denver game.
Oh, okay.
So they chose the place. I walked in, and they had just got hit by a big storm, and it knocked everything out.
Tell them next time to go to Froggers. They have backup power.
Exactly. Right down the road. That's exactly what I told him, too. I didn't choose the place.
Yeah.
I
Way
was
to
like,
go, Code Black.
Exactly.
I was going to say, that was
Yeah.
Ribbit.
All right, 407-916-1041, Ribbit indeed. We'll find out who the big winner is on our show tomorrow as we wrap up the Froggers football forecast.
Yeah, it'll be the Froggers football follow-up, and a listener will have a shot to win a $25 gift card if they correctly identify which member of the Jim Colbert Show did best in the picks this week.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, Brandon came in today just like Christmas morning.
Or did he really?
Ripped that door open around 2:30 and said, "We got a lot to do, buddy. We got a lot to talk about." Yeah, there's a bunch of stories out there, sports and non-sports related, but with athletes.
Yeah.
It was the broadcast debut of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And plus some Tyreek Hill had some drama before their game. So there's a lot of non-football stuff. That Brady thing is kind of interesting, though.
So I don't even know, that wasn't on locally, I don't believe, or was it?
It was the
Fox.
It was the Cowboys game.
Yeah, but we had the Bucks game.
Yeah, you may have. Yeah, but this place obviously has all those games.
So what I'm saying to the regular consumer, if you didn't have the Sunday ticket, if you were just watching broadcast television, I watched the Bucks game because that's, it was on Fox for me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And I did as well, but also in this establishment, the same place had, the Tom Brady debut.
So I didn't get to hear one word of Tom Brady.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't see anything this weekend in the news about how he did or did not do?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I hear people talking about it. I didn't hear one word about anything. I didn't hear it. I just heard there was an awkward fist bump.
Here's the thing about Tom Brady. I'll save some of this for Brandon because I know that he wanted to talk about it. But when you break the personality down apart from his accomplishments as a football player, what you get really is somebody that's a lot like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods isn't known for his sense of humor,
right?
For a reason. He's a really serious and a really serious person who applies his personality when need be because all of his effort goes into playing golf well. And I think you could probably tie that up with a guy like Brady, who has spent his entire career, just really being a robot of football. And I think when you have that many people around you who are not sycophants by any means, but, they're not going to go, "Hey, TB, maybe you can button this part of you, up." It doesn't really work like that, I don't think. And
he doesn't have any muscle memory yet for this new job, right?
Exactly. He has
there's
none of
all
that.
that trepidation of, what you can say in the locker room and say on the field and say with the coaching staff. You have to find that ground where you can do that on television.
Right.
And you're reaching that many more ears where that joke may not land the same.
Yeah, and basically you're saying, "Hey, Tom, remember everything from your roast?"
Yeah.
Repeat none of it.
Yeah. But you know what? There's a weird bar that's been set because, when you look at people like Chris Collinsworth, and namely, really the number one star of this phenomenon would be Tony Romo, who goes from being a quarterback into the booth and you can't be a bigger instant hit than Tony Romo was in the broadcast booth. It was immediate. He was good immediately.
You don't think he wasn't.
So?
No, he wasn't.
I
He was
disagree. I thought it was
awkward.
damn good.
No, he demonstrated an ability to tell you what was happening before it was going to happen, which I think when people caught on to that, they're like, cool. But that whole first season of him and Jim Nantz going back and forth was awkward as hell.
Really?
It's like the first episode of Seinfeld. You're just like zero chemistry.
Awkward?
Zero chemistry.
I didn't see it like that. That was wild because I guess I was just so enamored with his analysis because it was always so accurate that I kind of maybe bypassed the rest of that. But we'll see how he acclimates. It's a tough job. It really is. And if you're used to kind of everything going your way, which on the football field, not a lot didn't go well for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how he will acclimate. And I think his broadcast partner was one of the biggest choices in this to bring him in as well. I've never even heard of the guy he's working with.
Who is it?
I don't even know his name. It's like I didn't even remember it. I know I didn't pay attention to it because I was like, we're just looking for Brady. But I would have thought they would have put this guy with somebody who was already kind of an established, play caller. But
this is on Fox, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be the Fox number one guy. Is it Kevin Harlan? I don't know.
I'm not even 100% on that. No.
Okay.
I don't really know much about their broadcast team outside of the radio broadcast team.
So back to Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, I'm convinced that the awkwardness and how Tony Romo would speak when typically the color guy wouldn't speak, and some of the things he would say, Jim Nantz didn't know what to do with. I think Jim Nantz was kind of losing his mind at first, thinking, this is a disaster and I hate it. until it caught on where people started, Tony Romo kind of blew up as a color analyst. And then suddenly Jim Nantz, that rising tide lifts all ships. He's like, okay, I gotta go with this,
right,
and just accept the extras. I shouldn't have gone for that word.
Eccentricity.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Ding ding.
No, he got it.
I know. Give yourself a buzzer, Jack.
Yeah, buzzer.
Give yourself a buzzer.
The rare buzz ding. There you go.
Oh.
The wackiness of Tony Romo.
Yeah.
And I think he just bought on and together. Then I think it got better.
The funny thing is I didn't view it as wackiness. I just thought the guy had a really unique personality. Most quarterbacks don't come off as kind of jovial guys. They're usually the ones with the lack of sense of humor in the locker room. Peyton Manning being the outlier there, and Eli being the Andy Kaufman version of that. But usually you don't get a lot of jovial fun with quarterbacks, but Romo was able to bring that. I am interested to see how Tom Brady, they've invested $375 million into that little fun project.
Well, there you go.
So we'll see how that goes. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, by the way.
By the way, Kevin Burkhardt. He's the Fox analyst.
There you go. Have you heard of him before?
Oh, yeah, he's everything. Baseball,
no idea.
He's their number one guy since Joe Buck and the quarterback for Dallas flew to Troy Aikman went to Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I do remember that, but I don't remember the guy they brought in, and I don't pay attention to it enough to care, so I didn't really commit his name to memory. But
well, now you know.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of? There's a game called it's called geo-tracking or geomapping.
Yeah,
geo-tracking. It's where you figure out after seeing a small glimpse of somewhere, you can figure out where that is in the world based on things around it. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Geo Rainbolt?
No.
So we'll talk about Geo Rainbolt, a 25-year-old who is kind of a really unique character online that I found this weekend and became fascinated with. Beetlejuice goes absolutely bonkers at the box office, like crazy stuff. iPhone 16 gets released today. We'll go over some of those features to see if you are in the mode for another phone. And believe it or not, the hottest job in America is this, and I will bet money, if I gave you guys 10 guesses apiece, you probably wouldn't get it if you haven't seen the story. So very interesting how kind of things are changing, because I don't really remember this job being one that people are like, if you didn't have like a certain want to do that,
right,
that it would be very difficult to say that you would want to go into that profession, but it's exploding right now. And I'll tell you about what that is a little bit later as well, plus a bunch of other stuff. Deb, you got some news?
Yeah, we're going to talk about there being a potential hurricane threat for Louisiana. Closer to home, Governor DeSantis holds a discussion about the high cost of condo safety repairs. And Ryan Seacrest makes his Wheel of Fortune debut tonight. We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Send us a talk back using the iHeartRadio app. We'll be back in a second with Deb's News and more of The Jim Colbert Show.
Need a woman in your life who responds to your most important commands? Hey Siri, play Real Radio 104.1.
Looking at a slow ride on I-4 in the usual spots this afternoon for those traveling by the major attractions exits. Looking at a good ride, though, for those taking the Beach Line and the Greenway today. Things are moving well east and westbound for drivers on the 408. If you see traffic problems today, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Burrito. Wendy's Breakfast Burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon, or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hey guys, Jim Colbert here. If you ask anyone who's experienced a LASIK surgery, they'll tell you it's the best thing they ever did. The problem, they'll say, is I probably should have done this about 10 years ago. That's exactly what my father-in-law said when he got his LASIK. It was like a new toy for him. He came out of the office like you could see everything. You could not believe it. And if you have eyesight issues or if you struggle with that, what are you waiting for, man? The Filatowski Eye Institute is offering free consultations. And all you have to do to make your appointment is text 1041 to 868686 and start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. Look, if you're looking for experience, they have all you want. 65,000 LASIK procedures under their belt. They have have the latest state-of-the-art tech getting you the very best results. And if finance is a concern, they have you covered there as well. 24-month interest-free financing is available. So take the time, make this appointment, see what these guys can do for you, and really change your life virtually overnight. Text 1041 to 868686 and get your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your path to better vision begins right now.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
We're less than 2 weeks away from our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st. Stream only on Hulu.
Get tickets while you still can now at AXS.com.
This year, you can be there to witness all of the incredible once-in-a-lifetime performances live and in person. Buy your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Save on paint now through September 9th at Tools Ace Hardware. You can get up to 20% off gallons of Benjamin Moore Ben, Regal Select, and Aura Interior Paint. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has a huge selection of colors to choose from and friendly, helpful associates to give you expert advice on your next paint project. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. That's right, even for paint. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
Fence Outlet has helped our customers keep children and pets safe with quality fences for over 30 years. Now is the time to install your Fence Outlet fence. Visit fenceoutlet.com today to set up your free estimate and discover our wide selection of fencing options. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, the insurance company may make you a quick offer to go away. They may also be offering you pennies on the dollar. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey everybody,
Hey, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Wake up with football every morning and listen to my new podcast, NFL Daily, with Greg Rosenthal. 5 days a week, you get all the latest news, the best analysis delivered by the time you get your coffee. This show hits on every single game, every single week, but I can't do it alone, so I'm bringing in all the big guns from NFL media. Subscribe today, and you'll immediately be smarter and funnier than your friends. Listen to NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Daily to start listening.
Need more animals, more gators, and more fun? Y'all need Gatorland.
More Jim Colbert Show in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack is right over there. Let's get some news. Here's Deb. Thank you.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
Time for you to go.
Kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, and as always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are getting ready for their high-stakes debate on Tuesday night. The event has heightened importance with a new Siena College New York Times showing the race in a dead heat. It's likely to be their only debate before Election Day in November. It's taking place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the state that could determine who wins the presidency. ABC News is the host, but every network will carry it starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it won't have an audience, live microphones, or written notes for the candidates. Meanwhile, speaking about the candidates, former President Trump says he will vote for marijuana legalization here in Florida.
Saw that.
He wrote on Truth Social he believes, quote, "It is time to end needless arrests and incarcerations of adults for small amounts of marijuana for personal use," end quote. He pushed for regulations on marijuana while also allowing adults to access, quote, safe tested product. Trump said that if reelected as president in November, he would continue to support states' rates to pass similar marijuana laws. All right, another news. Set your alarm if you want to see a historic launch. It is expected to take place along Florida's Space Coast overnight. SpaceX says it's targeting a 3:38 a.m. liftoff at the Kennedy Space Center for the historic Polaris Dawn mission. I was fully awake. The launch says it's been delayed several times.
What happened?
It's really not
What
fun.
happened?
COVID. The launch has been delayed several times due to a helium leak and bad weather. Crews say forecast conditions are currently 40% favorable for tomorrow, with a backup available on Wednesday should they need it.
Are we sure this helium leak isn't causing climate change?
I don't know.
In all of the irony of worlds?
Because, Boeing Starliner spacecraft is back on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
On Friday.
Safely.
Exactly, safely.
Yeah.
That's some irony there, right?
Yeah.
On Friday,
it's self-Ubered.
Exactly. On Friday, the unmanned capsule released from the International Space Station and began its 6-hour journey home. The Starliner landed at New Mexico's White Sands Space Harbor late Friday night. It launched to the ISS back in June with 2 astronauts aboard in its first crew test flight. The mission was expected to last about 8 days. But mechanical issues kept the craft and the astronauts up in space for 3 months. Those 2 astronauts are going to remain in space until February of 2025.
Yeah, this is called a Project Mission Over, like a layover, like mega layover.
Exactly.
Like how many? So they went up when? How? So
June.
it's going to be 5 months, 6 months, 7, 8 months?
Yeah. They went in June for an 8-day trip.
At least now when the SpaceX goes up there with the 2 empty seats, they at least now can bring them their
home.
luggage. Well, no, their underwear.
Yeah.
You know, and all the stuff that stuff that they couldn't bring that they had to shed for weight.
Oh, trust me, though, nobody wants those. Nobody wants 8-month throws.
No, they've been jettisoned into space somewhere.
Those things are headed for some alien's face.
Butch of the famed duo Butch and Sonny,
Right,
lost in space.
Yes.
He had to jettison his clothes for the trip because for whatever weight reason they couldn't bring it up. So he went up there thinking he was just going to have what he had for 8 days. And so they've had to borrow clothes from the other astronauts and cosmonauts on the space station.
No, that's friendship, dude. Wow. That's friendship.
Holy
They can't,
ass.
and we've
Holy
learned
ass
that
is what it smells like.
They don't do wash. They
no,
can't
they can't.
wash.
They can't wash. They just, wear them on one side, flip them over, wear them on the other, pretend you didn't wear them the first day.
But they have wipes, right? They have these wet wipes, basically what they're doing.
Yeah, because you see them Velcro to the side of the wall.
Holy.
Right by the target duty.
Enjoy your shower.
Exactly.
Yeah. And trust me, you're not using those just once.
No.
Right? Oh, you're using those multiple times, are you not?
Well, I don't know.
No,
Ew.
you're definitely not going through 3 wet wipes a day. If you're basically living in a washing machine, I mean, you are going to those are going to be reserved. Oh God, could you imagine you get up there and you got to use some Russian's wet wipe from 3 trips ago?
What do they do with their garbage? Are we supposed to believe they pack it up and they bring it back?
I don't think there is garbage. Isn't it designed to have no waste? Isn't that the idea?
No, they do have garbage because you'll see when they do resupply trips, they'll unload new supplies and take the garbage back.
Wow, really?
In some cases, but I wonder if some of it is jettisoned
They don't
into
just
space.
say, just send it out there. And they say it'll burn up.
It's like saying just pee in the grass. No one's going to see.
Yeah.
Tropical storm Francine has formed and is expected to intensify into a hurricane before making landfall along the Louisiana coast on Wednesday. National Weather Service meteorologist Austin Flannery in Ruskin says some strengthening is likely.
It could become a hurricane as it approaches somewhere along the central Gulf Coast. Louisiana certainly is a favorite area for the storm to make impact.
Yeah, a risk of flash and urban flooding exists across portions of the Mid-South from Wednesday into Friday morning. Tomorrow is the peak of the hurricane season, and there's also plenty of activity outside of Francine. We've got a second system in the central Atlantic, has a 60% chance of developing over the next 48 hours, and a third system farther out in the Atlantic is being given a median chance of developing over the next week.
It's like somebody heard us bitching about it being a slow season. I mean, we're like, oh, you guys wanted some, huh? Well, here's 4.
Right, exactly. All right, well, outside of tropical weather, you've got some Orange County residents who are getting ready to express, I like this word, their concerns over recent flooding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people who live in Orlando's Wadeview Park neighborhood, that's like in the Delaney Park area.
Yep.
They're planning to speak out during this afternoon's city council meeting. That's because some homeowners are blaming poor drainage systems and a $13 million stormwater construction project on the ongoing flooding issue. Think of the charity that just got their roof fixed and now had massive flooding this last weekend.
Yeah.
Parts of the city have seen up to 10 inches of rain over the past week, with more showers expected into the evening hours. It's supposed to be another rainy, stormy week this week.
I'm looking at the weather radar right now. It's just more blob of rain, and it's just this steady rain. Last night it rained so hard it woke me up.
And you not only think of the folks in Delaney Park and Wadeview, but you think of that neighborhood in Longwood dealing with that numbnut of a neighbor.
They've got more coverage this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Council members are scheduled to meet later this afternoon. All right, in the meantime, Osceola County leaders are considering a proposal that would impact future construction projects. Commissioners are expected to vote on a plan to raise mobility fees on a new single-family home by what percentage, guys, do you think that they're going to increase mobility fees? Just a percentage.
What does that mean, by the way, mobility fees? What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that cell phone? Mobility, right? Your mobile phone.
I would assume so.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, well, each state and region, they get local taxes for this stuff. So
I'll go 23%.
I think that's hot. You know what? I'm not even going to show him. I'm going to give him.
Wow, someone is going on vacation.
He's going to take a real guess.
I'm going to give him some courtesy years. I'll say 21%. I left 22 open for him.
This guy's feeling himself a little bit today.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Yeah. Oh, really? Come on.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, so that means I won.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, boy, here comes.
117%.
Nailed that one.
So it's going to double.
Bringing the new total to more than $21,000. Officials say, hey, the change is needed to address traffic issues tied to population growth. The proposed increase was created with the help of the Greater Orlando Builders Association and other development operations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mobility fee.
Roads.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess those are impact fees.
Yeah, infrastructure.
Yep, infrastructure fees. So commissioners are scheduled to vote on that later on this afternoon as well. Hey, Sanford, we're not leaving you out. No, a meeting today in Seminole County could lead to higher utility bills for y'all. The Sanford City Commission will hold a workshop in about 30 minutes at 4 o'clock to discuss raising water and sewer rates by 7.5%. A vote is expected next month. Mayor Art Woodruff says rates are needed to go up because of inflation. He tells Spectrum News 13 the inflation rate on the equipment and chemicals that are used is higher than the regular inflation rate.
Wow,
Does
really?
that make you feel better?
Wow. Those are the things we surely should make expensive. Is the things that make the one thing we need as a species to stay alive very unapproachable.
There you go. I mean, how many
that
communities?
sounds pretty smart.
Doesn't it sound smart?
Yeah, it sounds brilliant.
All right, Governor DeSantis is in Miami Lakes listening to condo owners struggling to pay crushing assessments for safety repairs. The deadline for condos to complete inspections and fully fund reserves is coming up at the end of the year.
There are a lot of condo unit owners who are just not in the financial position to pay large assessments on such short deadlines. And these deadlines loom all the while the federal government has not released the final report outlining the cause of the Surfside collapse.
And they say that evictions around the state are going up dramatically as people are forced out of their condo units because they can't afford these assessments. The governor says as a result of deferred maintenance, these repairs are long overdue. He said, listen, these condo associations should have been keeping their eye on this and having reserves available to make these repairs instead of everybody now trying to go back and fill up their coffers, right? Because Surfside changed everything.
Yeah, I don't understand how this is not in just absolutely mired in litigation right now. I just can't imagine that. I mean, the governor's right. I mean, on such short notice,
yes,
that increases of that nature come, and I mean, obviously, could put you out on the road. I mean, if your payment on your condo is less than what you're paying for association fees and taxes and insurance, I mean, what the hell?
And you're hearing this from HOAs all over the state. Folks over in one Gulf Coast community had an assessment of like they needed to come up with 60 G's by the end of the year. Who has that sitting around?
Think about what that could do to the real estate market as well, considering that just because people are getting evicted, I mean, who's going to move in there? If even if you pay cash for it, you still wind up paying $2,100 a month.
Who can afford it?
Fees and stuff like that. Yeah, who wants to do that?
Exactly. For property that isn't always the easiest to resell.
Yeah, and then a coin flip that'll even be around from year to year because of storms.
Yeah, he adds that he wants condos to be safe, but he also wants them to be affordable. DeSantis is asking the legislature to come up with a pathway to help lessen the blow. In other news, jury selection is underway in the trial of a Lake County woman accused of killing her husband. Police say Lori Shaver killed and buried her husband Michael in their Claremont backyard back in 2015 before pretending he was still alive to his loved ones. The victim's remains were found 3 years later.
Boy.
It was this guy's best friend, I guess, who kept calling police and saying, you got to keep looking, you got to keep looking. And they finally looked underneath this concrete pad in the backyard. And
it's always the concrete pad.
Always the concrete
if
pad.
I had that's exactly where I'd take my dog if I was a cop. Ma'am, do you have any concrete pads on the property? Are there any within a mile of here? Chances are the body's under there.
Now, get this.
Okay.
That's not. Shaver's defense team claims two people, including her then 7-year-old daughter, was the one who pulled the trigger.
Okay.
And that they were involved in her husband's death.
All right, very good.
The daughter is expecting to testify, claiming she shot Michael to protect her mother from abuse.
Wow.
Prosecutors believe it will take about a week to get through their witnesses, and they actually say this is not going to be a very easy case.
Yeah, I didn't know that the abuse part of it. I really didn't know.
I'd never heard any of that
before. I read the headline of it today, and I just made the concrete pad. I was like, it's always a concrete pad.
It's always a concrete
pad. It's a new patio body. Okay, a new patio body with guaranteed, maybe multiple bodies.
All right, the Orlando Police Department is in the middle of a legal battle in connection to a raid more than 4 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember this story, but a couple recently filed a $10 million lawsuit against the agency, claiming they were falsely accused of creating and sharing child porn back in 2020. Now, the suit claims the victim's home was wrongfully raided after detectives skipped steps in their investigation and went to the incorrect home. The family says they were on their way to the vet to get their dog help when the incident happened. Their dog died, and the couple's 1-year-old child was taken out of their custody.
Holy bad afternoon.
Orlando police sent a
because
statement.
they skipped steps.
Yeah.
And went to the, and how many other cases where it's gone tragically wrong when they've gone to the wrong address?
Well, Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. Orlando police sent a statement to WFTV Channel 9 saying they are unable to comment on the case.
Wow, man. Unreal.
All right, here's for some good news. Today marks Florida's 26th annual Missing Children's Day, and Florida Department of Law Enforcement Special Agent Jeffrey Watson says Broward Canine Officer Kelly Covett and her Bloodhound Anthem won the Jimmy Rice Canine Trailing Team of the Year award.
Really?
Yeah, Watson says Deputy Covett and Anthem tracked a child by a scent in his shoe.
Okay.
Deputy Covett's quick thinking using an improvised scent article and Anthem's impeccable tracking skills ensured the child was recovered minutes before severe injury could occur.
Yeah, the two found a scent on the boy's shoe in unincorporated Broward near Fort Lauderdale and were able to locate him safely. He's a nonverbal child, so there's no calling out and expecting to hear an answer.
Wow, man.
Before he was kidnapped or injured. 177 children have been reported missing between January and June of this year.
Unbelievable.
All right, a man is alive today thanks to two good Samaritans who leaped into the water to pull him from his sinking truck after he drove off the Pineda Causeway into the Indian River Lagoon. What's so crazy about this is that it was a water patrol officer who just happened to come upon this scene as he was on his way to another call, who happened to see these two good Samaritans holding the driver's head above water while they were trying to figure out how the hell that they were going to be able to get out.
Wow. Yeah.
So here is Ariana Ebert, who told Fox 35, listen, she doesn't think of herself as a hero.
It's definitely out of my nature to jump into any sort of body of water besides a pool. All I can say is that I believe that God gave me the strength to overcome my fears that day.
Ebert and Don Cobb, with the help of that deputy, were able to get the man to shore where he was given CPR and transported to the hospital. They got him out of his truck just before it sank, and they were able to recover his truck as well.
Man, that picture that I saw of the truck, it's like he just kind of took his hands off the wheel and just drove straight over the edge.
Right.
And it went nose first. It was like he just drove across the way and just drove into the water.
So I was assuming it was more at the ends of the causeway where it's a lot lower, but it was near the middle.
Yeah, it looks like it. Jack. It looks like that dude did a 3-point turn to drive directly sideways off the road. Is what it looks like.
Yeah, I can't figure out how they were able to keep his head above the water with the truck trying to sink. I mean, it literally was a miracle that it even happened.
Because it went in nose first.
Nose first, so you'd think it would sink that much faster. All right, gas prices across Florida are the lowest they've been since
the 40s.
No, stop. I'll go 2018.
Keep dreaming, Jack. You want to take another guess?
2017?
No, actually since February.
All right.
Yay. AAA reports the state average is $3.15 a gallon. That's 15 cents lower than last week, 23 cents less than last month, and 47 cents lower than this time last year.
So one of those sketchy places that don't tell you that it's less for cash. They just put it up there. It's like $2.96. $2.96. You get up there and it's like $3,000 if you're not paying cash.
Oh, somebody went to the corner of what?
No, I just saw it. I didn't go in there, but I just saw it. It's like $2.96. I'm like, that feels bad.
Exactly. That's just like that airport dude, right? Who hides his sign.
Right. And then they printed a big, just 2-point type cash only.
Yeah.
Cash only.
Exactly.
And the credit price is like $7,000 a gallon.
Man, I remember when I stopped at that gas station near the airport that one time, and I rushed right in there. They're like, just show us your driver's license.
Yeah, no thanks, buddy.
I'm like,
no thanks, I'll pass.
Well, the Auto Club says declining oil prices are the reason for the drop, and unless they reverse course, gas prices should move even lower. Bring it on. And then finally, a new set and a new suit. Ah, yes. You know the theme music, right? Ryan Seacrest is going to make his debut as the host of Wheel of Fortune tonight. It will be the first time in 41 years that fans of the game show will not see Pat Sajak walk onto the set. Seacrest is taking over for Sajak after he retired at the end of last season. Vanna White will still be turning letters as she signed a contract extension to remain with the show through the 2025-2026 season. Apparently, this new set, she doesn't even have to touch the letters anymore. Sajak's days of spinning the wheel aren't completely over yet, though, as he will return to host Celebrity Wheel of Fortune this fall.
Nice. What a job. That's the greatest job
She
of all
hasn't
time.
had to touch the letters for years.
What is her actual job then?
Well, it used to be to spin letters. Then when they went electronic, I think she would.
She's the button.
She would
touch them.
Just
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
a little button,
Yeah.
it would light it up. And basically, it was just an on-off light button. But what does she actually do now? Is she basically just stand there? I mean,
Yeah, she's going to have to hawk Tua from a distance.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, Dad.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Jesus.
Hey,
But, just
she's
like-
trying to stay on the show,
like
Jack.
like the Price is Right girls.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
women of Price is. I don't. There's a name for them. I forget. But yeah, I mean, they were just
The
kind
dollar.
of. They'd wave
Eye
their
candy?
arms like, look,
yeah.
look.
But
it's
I
a
don't-
new
Brand new
Elante.
washer and dryer.
They don't even show anything. I don't even know what she does. Anyway, she'll be out of there in 26. Don't worry about it.
I think they're going to lean on Pat Sajak's daughter, who, if you
Oh.
saw, she started to make a few more appearances. Young, beautiful, blonde, kind of like Vanna as when she and
Really?
Pat.
Interesting.
And she's Pat Sajak's daughter, and she was
Interesting.
kind of being groomed with the show.
Yeah.
Of course, she doesn't have the level of gravitas just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they moved her into Vanna's role.
Yeah, no, Seacrest gets a lot of crap, but he's a really talented guy because looking good and knowing what you're doing on television is very difficult. People don't give it a lot of credit. It is really hard to look comfortable on TV. And if anybody can pull this off, it's definitely going to be Seacrest. The only thing he's not going to have that. I wonder if he has that wry sense of humor that Sajak never got really credit for until the end of his career. Because dude was funny. You know, he's a stand-up before he started doing that.
Oh, I did not know that.
So Seacrest is going to be interesting to see how he handles it. I think he'll do just fine.
Well, let's hope it's a little better than Brady.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, Seacrest and I both started as interns for the radio station.
Did you really?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was an intern.
He was a radio guy, was he not? When
He
started?
was.
Yeah.
You should call him and say, hey.
He still is a radio guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
right,
is a radio guy and a TV guy and an everything guy.
Right, yeah.
But either way, check him out, show Ryan some support, and now you all are officially woke.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show. Oh, what easy snort. What are you
Jeez.
doing?
Don't know.
My
I'm
God,
tired.
She just saw that.
My God.
She just saw that Ryan Seacrest started 6 years after me as an intern.
Yeah, he's here. Same pay scale.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
On Fox 35 Storm Team, meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. You know, this afternoon is going to be remembered as a stormy one. More numerous thunderstorms, dumping anywhere from 2 to as many as 5 or 6 inches in spots. You got to watch out for some of that street flooding. You know, we've had so much rain that the rain doesn't really have anywhere to go. It's kind of just running off and puddling and ponding until it slowly seeps into retention ponds. Just be careful out there. High temps around 89. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Dandy Fresh Cut Celery. Kickstart this school year with convenience and nutrition. With Dandy Fresh Cut Celery, kids are fueled with delicious and nutritious lunches and snacks to support their busy schedule. Find it at a Publix near you and snack happy with Dandy Celery.
Hey guys, we live here in Central Florida. It gets pretty darn hot, and it stays that way for a large portion of our year. You have to ask yourself every season, is my AC ready for the brutal heat and humidity that Florida has to offer every single season? Well, if you're with Mills Air, that's a no-brainer question for you because it's yes. But if you're not with Mills Air and you're a little sketchy on your AC company, get with these guys. Been doing it since 92, 30-plus years of experience in Central Florida, keeping you nice and cool. Their techs are awesome. They serve every band or service every brand out there. Don't worry, they can take care of you. And even better, if you do happen to need a new unit, they're Carrier factory authorized dealers, and that can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards your brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. These guys are awesome. Family owned and operated. They treat you right. 407-277-1159. Find them online at millsair.com.
Christopher Chambers enlisted in the U.S. Navy and later graduated from SEAL training. He was conducting a nighttime raid on a ship that was illegally transporting advanced lethal aid from Iran to Houthi forces in Yemen when he died in the line of duty. Christopher was 37 years old. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation provided Christopher's wife and young daughter with a mortgage-free home. Help America's heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
Are Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Prices are up everywhere, and that makes affordability a problem. And that's why I'm turning September into Accept-Timber. This week at RC Hills, if you hate your car, don't accept the status quo. Just say no. Get a great deal on a new 2024 Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. Or check out our certified used trucks, SUVs, and luxury cars. RC Hill Mitsubishi and used car superstores in DeLand and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. And if you need to sell your car today, we pay you on the spot. Visit rchillbuyscars.com.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. The costs were overwhelming, and it was a tough time for our family. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. But with my busy schedule, I needed something simple and quick. Then I found the Smart Bunny Insurance app. In just minutes, I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. No lengthy paperwork, no hassle, just peace of mind right at my fingertips. I'm relieved knowing my loved ones won't have to worry about the financial burden. If you're looking for an easy way to protect your family's future, I highly recommend the Smart Bunny Insurance app. It's fast, convenient, and the best part is you can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Bunny Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Is it a cold, allergies, or could it be a sinus issue? Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you find out. A recent study has shown that 45% of patients who suffer from allergies also suffer from chronic sinus issues that are often left untreated. So ditch those nasal sprays and over-the-counter meds for good and find a solution that actually works. The specialists at Aspire Allergy and Sinus make it easy by identifying the problem and creating a custom plan to tackle it. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
Fence Outlet would like to say thank you to our customers for trusting us for 30 years.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is the Jim Colbert Show. Take us with you for free on the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041 to call us. Text us easily at 77031. You got a comment you'd like to send via TalkBack, you can do that as well. And it's free. Just grab that iHeartRadio app. When you get it, go to Real Radio and use that microphone to send your comment on down the line.
Barker's Beauties.
There we go.
Spokesmodel is
Yeah.
I guess, generic term for the profession
Yeah.
of the game show model
Yeah.
who would show off the stuff.
And didn't he have a relationship with a couple of those ladies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was his quiver of hoes.
Quiver of hose.
I believe there have been Playboy spreads with some of them.
Hey, careful now.
Janice was one of them. I remember she was the one, back in like the 80s that was like, there was like 3 or 4 of them that were like, just, God, what are they doing there?
Anyway, thanks, Real Mobile texting service. Whenever we throw a question out there, if we don't have the answer, you surely do, and you share that info, and we appreciate it.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Wanted to give you some props because this weekend sounded pretty darn good at Real Radio 104.1. New alternative music on the weekends, right in your boy's wheelhouse.
I am very excited about this. Absolutely.
In your boy's wheelhouse.
Yeah,
I got to tell you. I will poke around, as I'm listening. I'm an old school radio listener. I do like podcasts, but I do like listening to live radio happening in real time. That's that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So as I kind of tooled around, it dawned on me, like I had that epiphany. Oh crap!
Yeah.
I do have some of this, and I mean, it was really cool, dude. Good job. I mean, great choice.
Thank you.
And there's an absence for that in this market too, by the way.
There is.
Yes.
And for those who didn't get a chance to tune in this weekend, and we do it nights as well, starting at 10 p.m. each night here on Real Radio.
Heavy metal polka.
Saturdays and Sunday, it's nothing but pure heavy metal polka. and it's been wildly well received. Now, it's classic alternative. Specifically from the 90s. It's called Smells Like the 90s.
Smells Like the 90s.
Yeah, it's your classic alternative back, and really, it's what Real Radio was playing back in the 90s.
Back when it first started, we were breaking bands like Green Day. We were breaking bands like Collective Soul and all those bands that you knew from the 90s that were so popular. The only place you could hear that, it was like us and PRK, and they only had a short time to play it because they had so much other block programming for other listeners. We were the only station that took it all the way all weekend long.
And coincidentally, this is exactly what I was playing over on WFIT that I was there from in the early 90s. And that was, what they call college music.
Radio, college rock.
And so that was alternative music at the time, and I did a weekly show, and it's the exact same stuff, and it's really I would say I listen to everything. I mean, Sinatra, AC/DC, obviously yacht rock, but I would say that classic alternative is probably my favorite genre.
So when I go to find albums to take me. So I can listen to it to kind of decompress. I know everybody does this, right? You let's say your drive home is half an hour or whatever. I will usually choose a podcast or something to listen to, but it's a road trip. I will listen to music, and I find myself dialing up the channels on my iHeartRadio app that are like, the Depeche Mode channel, the Cure channel.
Right.
I'm looking for, Susie and the Banshees and old Smithereens tunes and
Ministry.
The Smiths and Ministry and all of that stuff I listened to when I was coming up in the 90s. And I was newly baptized by that music. You didn't really hear a lot of that back when I'm from. There's a lot of country music. And that was pretty much it. And then, of course, Southern rock and stuff. Anything outside of that was considered weirdo music. And then I moved down here, and that's what you heard a lot. And I really was in tune with it.
Welcome home, my son.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Your favorite album?
From where? Violator is from Depeche Mode. Is my
What year did that come out?
1990.
Oh, baby. Right?
Oh, yeah. 1990. There's so
Came
many.
out in March of 1990.
Yeah, Jane's Addiction. I mean, you could go through so many of those bands that were. I mean, a lot of people who listen to the audience right now, and they're in their mid 40s all the way up into their early 50s. That is wheelhouse. Maybe even younger than that. Wheelhouse for those guys. You know,
we had a texter earlier who says he remembers because he was in his early 30s when he was listening to that stuff. So it kind of brings you back.
And somebody just said there's stuff there I haven't heard in 10 years.
Yeah,
which is awesome. And I have to ask you though, the one thing I did worry about or wonder about was, is it always going to stay in the 90s? There was alternative music in the late 80s as well. Like, going back for those bands like Echo and the Bunnymen and stuff like that broke later and then kind of moved into the 90s.
And
then got killed by grunge.
As everything else was.
Yeah, there is so much great alternative music from the 80s. And I'm going to work on finding a way to get that introduced, whether it's specialty shows
Right, yeah.
or a feature in it. But there's too much great stuff there not to include it.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, Talking Heads.
Cure.
Yeah,
The Cure.
Yeah, I mean, there's some the Cult.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much of that stuff from back in the day that you could listen to. And a lot of those tunes, like people will love the song and because it was like maybe a one hit or part of two hits. Like Echo and the Bunnymen had that thing where it was like Lips Like Sugar and, oh God, what was the other big hit they had? Cannot remember.
See?
But either way,
Right.
they will know the song and
Oh,
not
of course.
even have an idea who the band is.
Psychedelic Furs.
Yeah, exactly.
They have so much good music.
God, so good. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
It's a nice breath of fresh air to know that I can just turn in the radio station on the weekends and be really into it for a while.
And big credit and shout out to Chad, who hosts our music on the weekends, who had to endure a couple different changes, but when we got word we got approved to do this, which was my first choice, and and we got the green light for it. He couldn't have been more thrilled to be able to be the guy on weekends.
I bet.
telling me about the music.
For sure, man. Well, great job. Good to listen to. If you haven't checked it out yet, what are we calling this? Just smells like the 90s?
Smells like the 90s classic alternative.
There you go. All right.
Wow, so many text messages of people saying they loved it.
Yeah. All right, because it was great. I'm telling you, the song list was great. I mean, you almost can't lose in that genre, to be honest with you, because once you isolate it to those songs, I mean, there's probably about 100 of them that are almost absolute, just bangers right from the onset. I mean, from 2 chords in, you love it, All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. The new hottest job in America is...
Are we guessing?
I'll tell you next.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are in Detroit to face the Lions this Sunday. Coverage starts at noon on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at heavy traffic on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound on the interstate for those traveling by the major attractions this afternoon. Looking at a serious crash right now eastbound on the beach line that is reportedly blocking all eastbound lanes on the toll road between the Dallas Toll Plaza and State Road 520. The right lane remains blocked northbound on Florida's Turnpike at I-4. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Guys, listen up. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason, before you make that move, learn about the Nickley Group. And here's why. They're changing the real estate game. There's some money out there that you could be making that if you go with a standard real estate company, you could be giving up. And the reason why is this. Not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on average for 6% more, they sell them twice as fast as well. And let me tell you, with the rates lower than they've been in a year, there are a myriad of people out there looking for that great deal in that dream home. But if you have a group like the Nickley Group to help you navigate through that and find that buyer, find those people, they can do that for you. So if you're considering selling your home for any reason, you're downsizing, relocating, maybe you need a bigger home as your family expands, you got to get with the Nickley Group. Today on their website, you could do these things. Get your home valued instantly, get that guaranteed cash offer, or list your home today. You can do all of that at thenickley.group.com. Guys, what you don't want in the real estate world is an agent with commission breath, somebody that's dying to sell a house to make some money, not really considering your needs or your concerns. That happens all the time, but it never happens at the Nickley Group. Hop on board, log on with these guys. You'll love them. It's thenickley.com. That's NICKLEY group.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Jim Colbert here for FAS Windows and Doors. Are your energy costs through the roof? Well, it's time to replace your single-pane aluminum windows with the most energy-efficient option available. Keep the heat outside during the summer and inside during the winter. Too much outside noise getting in? Considering replacing older windows and doors with laminated insulated glass, providing as much as 100% improvement. Keep that noise outside where it belongs. Offering rebates of $100 per window and $200 per door. Also offering 24-month, no money down, no payment, no interest financing. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS or visit them online. Trust the leader, FAS.com.
If you you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
As storm season heats up, your Better Business Bureau reminds you to make a list now of trusted professionals. If you need help after a hurricane, who will you trust? Protect your home and family by choosing licensed, reputable professionals. Turn to bbb.org to find a better business.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. At work, just pretend you're on a Zoom call with us. Your mic is off. Your mic is off. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
What up, guys? Sport from Duval.
Yeah, Duval.
Man, Jimmy's little teaser about the hottest job in America. Man, I sure hope it's Space Uber so we can go get those damn astronauts and bring them back. Golly. You know they're going to make a movie about them. You know, that's obvious. And I really hope they call it ISS, but not for International Space Station. It should be ISS, in space, stuck.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Yeah.
Jack is here as well. Yeah. Crazy, man. Yeah, that piece of information we just saw was bananas bad.
Now, you call that the Chiron, right? The
Chiron.
Chiron.
Yeah, the Chiron.
It was the first time this year I learned the proper name. I always called it the ticker.
Right, exactly.
The Goudreau brothers, the hockey brothers, who were the one who's the NHL player. They were out riding their bikes.
Right.
Supposed to be...
Day before, or the weekend before.
The day before
their
their
sister's wedding.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Supposed to be groomsmen.
Yeah.
His widow just announced at his memorial service that she is pregnant with their third child.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's. I just covered my face like when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, man! Can you imagine? Unreal, right? Unreal.
All
right, 407-916-1041. All right, so we went into break, and I said This is one of America's hottest jobs right now. It is this. And one of the reasons it's a super hot job is it's one of the few jobs that has seen a relatively strong increase in pay. There are signing bonuses, and there is money to relocate you if you are interested in said job. There are plenty of openings right now.
Park ranger.
Not a park ranger. That's what an interesting guess. Why would you guess park ranger?
Because that's what I would want to do.
Okay. Okay, very nice. I get it.
Nursing.
It's not nursing, but funny you should say that, Jack.
Medical field?
One of the only other businesses or one of the only other fields that is growing, what they say, or offers more opportunity than this job that we're talking about now. This is nationwide, by the way. The story's out of Arizona, but this is a nationwide thing. That medical industry is the one job right now that they think is better than this, hotter than this.
Psychologist or social worker.
No, but I would have said the same thing.
Counselor.
I would have said something tech related, medical related, or exactly what you were saying.
Cybersecurity.
No,
I was going to say mental health.
It would be. I would think you would think. This would be, and it's actually kind of scary that there are a lot of these jobs out there available, but this is not one of those jobs you think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to go to school for this. This is a job you feel beckoned to do.
Not a bioethicist.
A lot of families pass this job down, kind of.
Families?
Yeah, because if you're in this,
mortuary,
if you're in this kind of job, it turns out a lot of other people kind of from those families wind up in this job.
Firefighter.
Close.
Law enforcement.
There
police.
you go. Cop.
Yeah.
Really?
Cop is one of the hottest jobs in America right now because the average salary has increased in the last 6 months or something like 37%. The job security is incredible. The benefits are insanely good. There are signing bonuses for a number of police departments throughout the nation, and they will move you across the country to be a cop.
Their pay is increased?
Yeah, 37% is the average increase for officer pay across.
Jimmy, I watch Fox News, and they say we're defunding the police. That's not ring true to my ears.
Yeah. The average salary of a police officer climbed more than 37% in the first 8 months of this year compared to the same time last year.
Well, Florida is one of those states that has offered a signing bonus, and I believe we've increased our ranks by 5,000 officers who've moved to the state of Florida because the billboards and stuff the governor put up in places like California, New York.
But they said after the George Floyd scenario that a lot of people wanted out of that business because of the idea that
you'd be like Derek Chauvin,
right? That you could theoretically be doing your job and then get held accountable for it. By I think a lot of people get a little scared by that. Maybe some other things as well, just not wanting to die.
No, I understand being nervous about being held accountable for doing your job, but that also, when you say it like that, it implies Derek Chauvin was doing his job.
He was doing part of what he was doing was his job. The knee on the neck thing was not his job.
Right.
But I think what people, if you're going to do that job and you think to yourself, is everything I do going to be scrutinized? And of course, we know that Derek Chauvin was guilty of that and he's in jail because of it. But, is everything I do going to be scrutinized? They actually list this in the story. This is a CNN piece.
Because you also have like that police officer who knocked on the door, the wrong address again.
Yes.
And the Air Force.
He was just denied bond.
But he was holding his
his
gun, but answered. It was pointed down. Answered his door, and he shot him right away. So I don't know if he was scared or
And I think maybe all of those questions that we're asking is kind of one of those reasons why people would be a little bit more reticent to join the ranks.
Yeah.
Because, you're getting scrutinized by your people, you're getting scrutinized by the public, you're getting scrutinized by the city commission or the sheriff that is a political position. So
you're asked to do a lot.
And you're asked to do a lot.
A lot, including die for a stranger.
Yeah. So from 22 to 23, the average salary only rose 8%. But from 23 to 24, the first 8 months, it rose 37%. And ZipRecruiter is saying, this is one of the best jobs out there. Solid benefits, job security, the ability to retire with a pension with 20 years of service, which I would be well past now if I was a cop. And I know a guy, by the way, who went into the academy at 18 years old and retired promptly on his, what would that be? 38th birthday. He wasn't even 40 years old or just past that when he basically retired with 20 years with a pension. I think it's equal to his entire salary at the time of of retirement going through.
Hey, you had me at the word pension.
Right, exactly. I mean, but that's the case. You know, a lot of people former military going into
That's usually where they go.
Going into these positions at an alarming rate, but there are still so many openings nationwide that, you know, police departments are clamoring to get qualified people to go in. They say one of the only drawbacks is the background check time. Because I guess they take a little time to kind of find out more about you now.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Exactly. I'm good with that.
When you hear some instances and they said, and in his past is this as well, did anyone check?
Yeah,
exactly.
Some of these people are saying, like, I wasn't even, like, thinking about being a cop. But when you start looking at the benefits in some parts of the country and the pay and the salary and the fact that that's a solid job with great benefits and they'll move me out there, you know, and pay for that for me. Like, you know, you may not even want to be thinking about being a cop. You're like, hey, I'm in pretty good shape. You know, I'm a good person. You know, I think I'd like to serve the community.
They might have an opening in Miami-Dade police.
Why is that?
Yeah. Why is that? I don't know. What's the story there?
Oh, because of Tyreek.
Oh, my
Tyreek
God.
Hill.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that entire
they're
thing.
They're thinking about filing a lawsuit against the city.
The funny part of that entire story was I read it to Deb before the show. Did you hear how they explained him? Yeah. That said, this was the statement, or like, Tyreek Hill became uncooperative, and then he was redirected to the ground. Redirected is a good way to say slammed.
Yeah.
Let me ask a quick question. So I don't know the answer to this. Jack, you're in good shape, right? You're in pretty good shape.
Oh, thank you. But
okay, I'm not in terrible shape, but I am 56 years old.
I rode my bike in the rain today.
Yeah, very nice.
Wow.
Didn't plan on it.
So let's say that I got tired of doing radio.
Yeah.
Let's say that, you know, maybe I just like, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. I'd like to serve the community. Could I get a job as a cop
No.
at 57 years old?
Too
You
old.
can't?
No.
I'm too old?
You're too old.
Too old.
What's the
For
cutoff
training.
date?
It's
This
in
is
your
I could
30s,
blow
I
that
think.
training away. Get out of here.
No,
That's-
in your
that's-
30s, I think.
That's the problem. They don't need to give you a gun and put you out on
Yeah.
the streets,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
They just need to sit you on a corner somewhere and just let you cuss the perp out. That'll be good enough.
They want to make sure they can get the for the training they put into you. They want to know you'll have it on the back end.
No taser for you.
No, man.
No taser for you.
I would tase myself to save other
I
people.
know.
I'm doing this for you, buddy.
I wonder, what is the cutoff?
It can't be like, it's not 30. There's no way.
Maybe 35.
No, I think it.
Yeah.
No, well, they're talking about a guy who came out of the military at 44 after doing 20 years of service. And,
Oh, pre-trained.
and he was thinking about he's doing
See, military, that's different.
Wait, is it
You
really?
get a pass for the post office
Yeah, I don't
and police work.
Okay, let's see what you have.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think the guy was like 44 years old, and they were like, he could roll. After serving 25 years in the U.S. military as a petroleum supply specialist, this guy, Mr. Bayer, 44 of Colorado Springs, decided this was the year he would retire. But then when he started seeing all the officers from the Seattle Police Department, he was like, well, you know, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go up there and make that probably between 75 and 100K for living in that Seattle area as a cop.
It doesn't say that there's a cutoff date.
Yeah,
it says you have to be 19 for law enforcement and correctional probation, 18 for corrections.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think it is dependent on the person. If I roll in there, I am 6'1.5".
No.
I weigh 215 pounds right now.
Yeah, what's your 40-40?
I've been eating very well lately. I did have a big ass chicken salad sandwich. Okay, I'll go 216 and a half.
You just wanted 220 just in case you have an off day tomorrow.
Pretty good.
Holding a little water.
Pretty sure I'm in good enough shape to at least give that challenge, that physical challenge, a shot. You know?
Well, there
I
you
got
go.
pretty good stamina. You know, I can run up these stairs like a young man.
Jack is right. Ex-law enforcement here. 38 years old is a cutoff unless you have power, military, or primary service.
Right? So you need that experience to get in after 38.
It says Orange County, you can be any age. Look it up. You can be 60, 70, even 80-year-old cops.
And someone from Brevard says over here in Brevard, they graduated the academy with a 50-year-old.
Dude, I'm telling you.
10 years and retired.
I'm doing it. I'm telling
someone
you.
said my 19-year-old daughter starts the police academy next month. She's already got a job with Cocoa Beach PD already, and they're paying her 40 hours a week while she's going to school.
Why don't you become a teacher instead and impart your knowledge?
Teacher?
Do you want
that,
generation?
Can I tell you something? That's 50 times more dangerous.
No, you in that role is 50 times more dangerous.
It's more dangerous for everybody, Jack.
So you can do 15 push-ups in 1 minute?
I could probably do 15 push-ups in 1 minute.
We've got 1 minute.
I'm not going to do it for you. Because I'm not saying that wouldn't take me out for the rest of the day. I'm just saying I can probably do it.
Is that it? I didn't think I could pass the test, but I can do that.
Oh.
What is this test? Bring me this physical test. Let's go. Bring me this physical test. Now, I do have a pass for my bad left knee.
No passies.
But I get an extra gun for that. if that's what happens for every 50-year-old.
Not an OK Corral situation
I got
here.
a bad shoulder. I'm going to need an Uzi. I have a very good balance of when to squeeze the trigger, Mr. Sir, Officer, Mr. Man. I'm going to need 2 tasers and a stick of dynamite. I would have the ultimate utility belt.
Would you really?
Oh, it would have everything. It would have a blowgun on it, just so that people knew I was serious. That's it. That's it. Down. Oh, fentanyl tip blowgun. Like, Mr. Officer, I'm not taking any more. The ground. That's it.
I would give you a badge just to see how much damage you could do.
I am a walking reality show with a badge.
Yes, you are.
It's like when they gave Steven Seagal one. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know.
This guy can't pass a basic mental awareness test, and you're giving that guy a piece and a badge? My God, man.
Good luck.
God. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Take a little break. Brandon Kravitz in with some sports next, right here on the Jim Colbert Show.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Looking at heavy traffic on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound on the interstate for those traveling by the major attractions this afternoon. Looking at a serious crash right now eastbound on the beach line that is reportedly blocking all eastbound lanes on the toll road between the Dallas Toll Plaza and State Road 520. The right lane remains blocked northbound on Florida's Turnpike at I-4. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Burrito. Wendy's Breakfast Burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon, or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
We're less than 2 weeks away from our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st. Stream only on Hulu.
Get tickets while you still can now at AXS.com.
This year, you can be there to witness all of the incredible once-in-a-lifetime performances live and in person. Buy your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
It's the Greater Orlando Sports Commission's Celebrating Women in Sports Luncheon, presented by Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute. Wednesday, September 25th at Addition Financial Arena. Celebrate women in sports. To purchase a table, visit GreaterOrlandoSports.com.
Get ready for fall road trips with Pep Boys. Shop and save on newly reduced prices on hundreds of tires. Save up to $420 instantly on select Cooper tires. That's up to $300 in savings with buy 3, get the 4th free. Plus $120 in savings with free installation. Don't miss this chance to save big. Buy 3, get the 4th free, plus free installation on select Cooper tires. Ends 9/22/24. Tire discount equals the retail price of 1 tire in a purchase set, excluding taxes. Terms and exclusions apply. Visit petboys.com for details.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11 survivor. For 13 hours, I was buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. I was rescued thanks to brave people who were willing to put their own lives on the line to save mine. For 9/11 this year, a National Day of Service, I'll be paying it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm a school teacher, and my husband is a firefighter. One day, we got the worst call of our lives. Our son was in a serious accident. We heard Glenn Klausman on Real Radio and called him to help. Mr. Klausman genuinely cared about our son and fought multiple insurance companies to get us a great result. We could reach him 24/7 on his cell phone. Mr. Klausman was our guardian angel.
I'm Glenn Klausman. Contact me at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com. Office, Winter Park.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
It's the political heavyweight event.
We like a good fight.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump.
Here, we're going to have some fun, right?
Lace their purple gloves and go for the knockout punch.
You know, when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for.
Which candidate will deliver?
I look forward to that debate.
Listen tomorrow night at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 News channel or search debate on the free iHeart Radio app.
Radio. 104.1.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Hope you had a great weekend. Got about 40 minutes left before you punch that clock and get the hell out of Dodge. Be sure to drive safely home. We got some weather rolling through the area. Turn us all the way up. We got you. I'm Jim. There's Deb. Jack is here as well.
Hi.
Every single Monday, he slides over from 96.9 The Game, where he rules the sports talk space. But in just a minute, he joins us on Mondays to bring a little of that magic onto the Jim Colbert Show, good and loud, for the man, BK, Mr. Brandon Kravitz.
Yay! Okay, you know what I got a couple of times this weekend? Out at the Stadium Club with Russ Rollins, and we were hanging with some listeners, and more than once I got I think most people thought I was Russ's assistant. And then they heard me talking about the game, and they go, You're the sports guy.
You're the sports guy. You're the broiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, man.
And so every time somebody wanted to strike up a football conversation with Russ, he would point to me and be like, just talk to him.
Yeah. So how are you handling
Russ is
this?
like, I like the colors.
No way. Really?
How are you?
He had Miami Dolphins shoes. They were kind of awesome.
Yeah, listen, this goes back to his grandmother days. So he's been a Miami Dolphins fan through thick and thin. His grandmother was a massive Miami Dolphins fan. So he's been a Dolphins fan since I've known him. That's in like 86.
Yeah.
I've known that dude like half his life.
He was in it. He was into it. The listeners were into it. We had a good time. And it was a tight game, which made it a fun event because we were all on the edge of our seat.
Yeah. It was a good game, though, wasn't it?
I mean, it was an ugly game, but it was a good game in that it came down to the end.
Can I tell you, I mean, how many of the games the first week were like, were not a little fractured? Even the two games we started off with, although bangers of football games, the first quarter and going into the second quarter,
Well, I think Friday night, the field was the biggest problem, but those offenses were cooking.
Yeah.
And then last night, I thought was an excellent example of how beautiful the game can be in 2024
Absolutely.
with high-functioning offenses and really talented players and all of that. And not like the defense doesn't have a role. You see, I don't like a game where it's all one-sided, all on defense or all on offense. I think you saw good balance, but most of those 1 o'clock games were clunkers. And we'll talk about some of those for sure. This segment sponsored by the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind at pound 546 on your cell or whenyouneedus.com.
Before we get to the NFL, let's talk a little bit about NCAA football. Our UCF Knights took it to who did we play then? I can't remember the team. I remember the first game, but I can't remember the second game.
Sam Houston State.
There you go.
That's right. And they ran away with it. Not even close. I thought KJ Jefferson played a much better game. He was a little uneven in that first game against New Hampshire, which is problematic because New Hampshire is low level of college football. Sam Houston, not any great shakes, but they're at least a Division I football team, and we're supposed to be halfway decent. UCF mopped the floor with them. KJ Jefferson was much better, and UCF's run game has to be one of the best. I say top 5. If I'm taking Homer goggles off, probably top 10 running games in all of college football. RJ Harvey is a full-blown stud. Very curious to see what this team does this weekend against TCU, their first real competition of the season.
Very nice. So we'll keep an eye out for that for sure. Good to see UCF starting off 2-0, even though the teams weren't exactly the best tests. We'll see that coming. You almost kind of like that, just maybe to work out some kinks.
Absolutely. Well, and this is a perfect example. They worked out a kink week 1, week 2. They had bad quarterback play, and they got good quarterback play, and you feel like, okay, this team's ready to go and at least be competitive against real competition. TCU's not great. The point spread basically suggests a coin flip. I think TCU is favored by 1.5. So road game for UCF. This is a true test. Real quick before we move on, because I know we have a lot of NFL to talk about, Billy Napier has not yet named a starter. They have a real opponent coming up again. They got smoked by Miami in week 1. They had their Humpty opponent this past week in Samford. Graham Mertz, who's their super senior quarterback, he suffered a concussion against Miami, and so they played DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway was the number 1 quarterback recruit in the 2024 class. So this guy comes in with all the hype in the world, dual threat, powerful arm, and he was awesome. Now, he was awesome against lower competition.
Sure.
They play Texas A&M this weekend, and I think they should go with the kid. I don't know what Billy Napier is going to do. His job is certainly on the line. People want him out, so I'll be curious to see. Something to follow going into the weekend. How does Billy Napier operate that quarterback position? And in college, they tend to be awfully coy heading into Saturday, so you might not know until you see it on the field.
And no other really surprises in the top 5 in the NCAA, right?
Well, you had
you did have one.
Notre Dame lost.
Yeah, took an ass kick, and I totally forgot about that one. Yeah,
they were 28-point favorites. And they have fallen. They're not out of the top 25. They're ranked 18th. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that. Texas absolutely dominated Michigan at the Big House, at Michigan. This is not the same team that they were a year ago. They're completely depleted. Coaching, players.
Yeah.
They're not the national champion that they were a year ago. Texas is for real. In a couple of weeks, Texas plays Georgia. Those are the top 2 ranked teams in the country. That is going to be a movie. Get your popcorn. Those 2 teams are awesome.
For sure. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Let's start with our home teams. Let's start with your home team. Actually, kind of funny. We can do 2 with 1. We knock out 2 with 1 stone, right? So
yes, we do.
Miami plays Jacksonville, and both of these programs really have question marks hanging above both of them. I mean, really, this is the year for Tua to prove to everybody that he's that guy, and there'd be no reason for them not to do that this year. And Jacksonville, coming off some additions in the offseason, really looked to solidify and really just kind of tighten that program up, get Trevor Lawrence into some positions where he can throw more down the field and have a little bit more time to make those great decisions. And I thought it was a pretty good football game, a little sloppy like all of them, but, when you have 17-20, I mean, it was a good fight.
It was definitely a good fight, and I do think you could look at this. If you want to be glass half full, both of these teams look like they're going to be pretty good, and their defenses might be better than we were giving them credit for. I think a lot of people going into the year thought Jacksonville would have a pretty good defense. They're a little unsure about Miami. They lost important pieces. They have guys that are already injured entering into the season, but their defense looked really good. The problem is, I don't know how you exit this game feeling any better about either one of these teams.
Either one of these programs, but
Miami's 1-0, but they are so fortunate to have a win. Think about this critical juncture in the game. There's about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Jacksonville's up 17-7. They're driving the field. They're about to score. Travis Etienne fumbles, goes into the end zone. Miami recovers. Miami then turns around and throws a bomb to Tyreek Hill. He takes it 80 yards and then does the I just got arrested celebration, which was hilarious.
It's very hands behind the back.
But that's a 14-point swing. That's the difference. The score was 17-14 after that happened. If Travis Etienne doesn't fumble and instead he just runs into the end zone, it's 24-7.
Yeah.
The game's over.
Yeah.
So football's a funny game like that because Miami escapes with a win, but they did not play well. They're missing kicks. They looked out of sorts on offense. With all that talent, you should never look out of sorts offensively.
Yeah, you should not.
And then for Trevor Lawrence, I just continue to excuse this guy for bad quarterback play. They scored 0 points in the second half. 0.
Yeah.
That's the time when you put your foot on the throat of your opponent. Trevor Lawrence did nothing. Now, I think his offensive line played poorly. Travis Etienne, not only did he have that fumble, they went for it on fourth down in their own territory, 4th and 1, handed the ball off to Etienne. He couldn't get 1 yard. So Trevor Lawrence had his issues around him, but at what point do we stop blaming the coach, blaming the running back, blaming the offensive line? I'm not saying I'm ready to do that now. I'm giving him these excuses.
This is the last year for him?
I'm just letting him know.
He's on the BK clock?
If he doesn't become the star that was promised this year, I will be out on him.
I'm with you. I think 3 years in the league is enough. You can take all the stuff away, whether you don't like the coach, whether the system isn't built for you, the offensive line is bad. Eventually, the good players find a way to work around those things and still learn how to score with all of those hurdles. I mean, it's just how it is.
That's the NFL, and that's the issue that I have with Tua. If Tua had the best offensive line in football with the weapons that he has, he would look like a top 5 quarterback every single week.
Yeah.
The problem is you're not in Alabama anymore. That's not the way it works. At somewhere on your team, because of salary caps and movement in the NFL, you're going to have weaknesses. Look at Matt Stafford as a good example. Last night, he had 2 of his offensive linemen that were out of that game. His number 1/number 2 wide receiver, Puka Nacua, left early in the game. And he's asked to battle back down 10 points on the road against the Lions,
against
a
the
really
Lions,
good team.
A really good football team.
And he takes their ass to overtime.
Yeah, he did, man. That was a damn good. That was the game of the week for me. I thought it was an unbelievable football game.
And the only reason the Rams lost is because they lost the coin toss. And their defense was dog-tired, so Dan Campbell goes, try and stop my running back, and he just ran it right down their throat.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to be able to overcome. And when I look at Trevor Lawrence and Tua, I see 2 guys that came from those premier programs that had it all set up around them, and they looked brilliant in those situations.
At the perfect time, too. In those college programs, that was the perfect time for them to be there.
And they are very good.
Yeah.
But I want to see great from both of them, and both of those franchises paid these guys to be great. These are now $200+ million quarterbacks.
Yep.
And from what I saw in game 1, they did not play like it. Very curious to see what Tua looks like and what this Dolphins team looks like on Thursday night. They play the Buffalo Bills. That's huge.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Best quarterback in the state right now.
Looks like Baker Mayfield, has the ability to, be okay. I mean, I know it's Washington, but, either way, I thought he looked pretty good, moved the ball efficiently. I mean, I think this team likes him, and we've talked about how important the locker room is when you're operating at that level of athleticism. And I don't know, man. I mean, when you couple in with what the Saints did, is the NFC South got to back a little bit. I mean, you have those two other dogs, but man, it looks like we could have a fun battle going down for this division, which is kind of welcomed,
Well, definitely. I like fun battles, so give me all of that. I'm not sure I'm buying the Saints. I think they might be the most fraudulent 1-0 team in the league.
Oh, God.
The Panthers are so bad.
As bad as it gets.
I just figured, hey, you got to get last year past you. They'd be a little bit better. I picked the Panthers in our pick'em pool. What a dumb mistake that was.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I took the Browns. So we can punch each other in the nuts when we get done with the segment.
That would be great.
Okay.
I think that would actually make me feel better. I took a beating this weekend. But,
I looked at you. I'm like, I said, Hoopin, did you just put them down on have your kids picking my color? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So anyway, Bucks, they look good. I think they look good.
The Bucks look really good.
Running the ball, man. They ran the football. This last 2 years, the Bucks, I believe, have been in the bottom percentile of rushing. I think, matter of fact, for the last 2 years, they've been the worst or second worst rushing team in the NFL. But looks like they've got that settled. And listen, they punched the ball and ran the ball.
Yes, and I don't want to take anything away from Tampa because they looked like one of the cleanest teams out there. They were good at everything, but they were playing against a rookie quarterback and a defense that might make a lot of teams look like this.
Well, that secondary is not that good. I know that.
It's not. And so the Bucs have a great test coming up. They're in Detroit next week. An awesome game, but I think it speaks to their continuity. Baker Mayfield has had a very real renaissance to his career. I don't think what we're seeing is a fraud by any means, but I just think their upside is capped. But they're a good football team, and they bring back so many pieces. They went out of their way more than any team in the NFL to bring back the exact squad they had a year ago. So it shouldn't surprise us when they're playing against a bad defense. In week 1 of the season, all these offenses around the league look so off-kilter because these are guys that they don't play together in the preseason anymore. Yeah. Offenses trying to learn each other, complicated systems. I mean, even Tom Brady in the booth was a little rough around the edges, okay?
I was about to talk about that next.
Week 1 can be rough on people, but for the Bucs, they're just running it back, and there was a lot of fluidity in their offense, and we didn't see a lot of that around the NFL.
Do you think that they go into this and they think to themselves, hey, man, look, as long as we dominate the NFC South, that gives us a chance to get into the playoffs.
Definitely.
We have a place to get in there and, really concentrate about winning their division, and then they kind of let the team go from where they're going to go from there. But, man, they did look good. They did look like they had good continuity on the field. I know that Washington isn't the greatest opponent to really kind of sum up what they're going to be throughout the season, but, it looked like there was continuity there. There were really no busted plays. They ran the playbook great. They executed. Their blocking schemes were good. Again, against maybe talent that isn't quite where it's going to be when they play Detroit, but I still think they looked okay.
Let me give them
and I'm a homer, so.
Well, you're great, as you should be. And your team's coming off of an awesome win where they look like, if you're just basing it off of 1 week of NFL action, they look like one of the best teams in the league. I'll pay them the best compliment I can possibly pay them. They are operating the way the Miami Heat operate in basketball. The Heat don't have the best roster. They never do. I mean, forget about the LeBron days.
I was gonna say,
since then, I'm talking about the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat. But they always put a roster out there that's going to make you work to beat them.
Right.
They're never going to let themselves be bad. They're always going to be a team that's right there, that punches you in the mouth. You got to work to beat them. And Tampa feels like that's how they're building their team. Not everybody can have Patrick Mahomes, but just because we don't have the best quarterback in the league, we don't have the best defensive players in the league, doesn't mean we're going to let our team sink. We want to give our fans a product they can be proud of, and they kind of feel like the workman's team right now where, we might not be the best, but you're still going to have to work to try and beat us. So you should be proud of your team today.
I am, by the way. 2 big stories before we get out of here. One is Harbaugh's coaching debut with the L.A. Chargers. Very interesting. He basically turned the Chargers into Michigan football.
Very quickly.
You throw it 25 times and then run it a bunch.
They ran the ball great. They were tough.
It's great. It's going to be very interesting to watch. This is not the L.A. Chargers that anybody's really used to seeing. Coming from the Fouch years and stuff, It was like the high-flying Chargers for so many years, and now you've got a grinding game where, you got guys who are coming in there, and it's, Herbert, instead of throwing it 40 times a game, is throwing it 25. And you can basically, that's what you're going to see from this team. You're going to have to just beat him on the ground.
Absolutely. Jim Harbaugh, we forget how good of an NFL coach he was. He made Colin Kaepernick look like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And that 49ers team under Jim Harbaugh was always tough.
Yeah,
and he's
very
going to
tough.
create that sort of – I didn't think it would happen in week one. Another bad pick. I took the Raiders.
I did not. I took the Chargers in that game. Yeah.
Good.
And then the other story is the one that's happening tonight. And this is really the only big, I think, social story in the NFL right now, really. I mean, outside of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship, I mean, the opus that is Aaron Rodgers' career, we'll find out tonight of whether or not it's for real. The Jets versus the Niners. I mean, you talk about trial by fire. They're dropping this guy in the cauldron immediately. This could be a good ball game tonight.
I hope so.
It could either be great or awful.
Go Niners.
There's no in between, by the way. It's either great or awful.
The storylines are plentiful in this one, and they do start with Aaron Rodgers. We thought we were going to get this great new experience last year. Same situation.
Don't laugh.
Monday Night Football. Here comes Aaron Rodgers running out onto the field. We've all seen the memes at this point. He's got the American flag in his hand, and that was the entirety of his season.
Beautiful.
Now,
Was it 3 plays?
Three
Not
plays.
even.
I think it was
4.
three. I think
It was
4
4. Yeah, 4 plays.
Okay. It was quick. And I'm just hoping I'm just hoping he makes it through the game. That's all I want to see.
Are you serious?
I just want to see Rodgers make. I just want to see him play. We had so much bad quarterback play last year in the NFL, and Zach Wilson was chief as the reason
Daniel
why.
Jones.
I mean, yeah, but I'm talking about like we were force-fed backups.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Throughout the NFL, and for teams that are on primetime, and they're putting the Jets back on primetime. They're going to have a lot of these games where we're standalone window. You're watching Jets football. I want to see Aaron Rodgers play. Like him, hate him, whatever. He's at least interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll make that team watchable. So I want to see what he looks like. Let's keep in mind, the last time he played, 2022, he was not the same Aaron Rodgers. Now he's coming off of an Achilles injury, the type of injury that usually takes older athletes out completely. So what does he look like tonight? If he's able to make it through, giant question mark.
And if he walks off the field, he's already lasted longer than Love in Green Bay.
Oh, and I went with your Raiders, you son of a bitch.
I told you, don't do that.
You son of a bitch.
He warned you.
I went with your Raiders because you didn't make me have to watch the Bears in that.
Is he out for the season, by the way?
No, the timeline is 3 to 6 weeks. Yeah. It's just so unfortunate. Last 5 seconds of the game, it didn't even matter anymore.
I hate you, Jack.
I didn't do it.
And I don't know how much the field had to do with it, but the NFL has got to figure this out. Play your games wherever the hell you want to play your games. It's always going to look like a good idea because they're going to make money wherever they go, so they can go, look at the bottom line. We made money. All of your ideas make money, okay? So get past that.
And doesn't it feel like that's the cheapest thing you could get right is the field? Like when you're talking about $1 billion building and the field is trash?
They're just more concerned with it looking good than it actually playing good. Those guys were on a slip and slide all game, and I turned to my wife and said, someone's getting hurt tonight. I promise you, somebody's going to get hurt on that field. And it happened the last 5 seconds of the game to a quarterback. This was my pick to win the MVP this year. You could scratch that. I love Jordan Love. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback, and now we're going to be subject to whoever the hell they trot out
who
there.
Who is that, by the way?
Malik Willis, who couldn't beat out Will Levis in Tennessee.
Oh my
and
God.
I don't know if you saw how bad he was.
That guy is.
Okay, so
he has more pick sixes than touchdowns.
Caleb, I know we're done. This is my final thought.
Okay.
The rookie quarterbacks were bad. Caleb Williams was the worst of the three of them. He didn't pass for 100 yards. There's only been 2 quarterbacks in my lifetime that have thrown the ball 25 or more times in their debut and couldn't get to 100 yards. Caleb Williams was one of them, yet he won the game.
Right.
Because Will Levis is that bad.
Yeah.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. on 96.9 The Game and Real Radio 104.1. Extended versions available by searching Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform. I love football.
Good and loud for the Broilers.
Whatever.
Always good seeing you, buddy.
All right, and the Pride made the playoffs. Congratulations.
Yeah, good job. And did they even lose the entire season? I think they've lost in 71. Unbelievable. All right, 407
They've been killing it.
916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Man, like we were just messing around about the chicken, and he got really angry. I was like,
Okay.
I was just playing with Ryan.
I honestly did get mad about that because Ryan was making me mad. Because everything I said, he was poo-pooing on, and I was really getting ticked off. Now, that might be because I was worried about my wiener. I mean,
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. This afternoon, we got numerous storms developing, about an 80% chance for rain, and like in days past, it may come down so hard that it causes a little bit of ponding, even some nuisance street flooding, some of those notorious low spots. Remember, you don't want to drive through that stuff. We'll see a high temperature about 89 degrees, rain ending after 8 p.m. More of the same tomorrow. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Early Learning Coalition of Seminole. Every child learns in their own way, and the ELC of Seminole is passionate about sparking meaningful connections. Their school readiness programs support income-eligible families by offering scholarships to programs that foster early learning and development. Get started today at sparkyoungminds.com.
Guys, are your energy costs through the roof? Well, maybe, just maybe it's time to replace those single-pane aluminum windows with the most energy-efficient option out there. Keep that heat outside during the summer. Keep it inside during the winter, though, and if too much noise is getting inside your house, man, you need to replace those older windows and doors. Use laminated insulated glass. That can provide as much as 100% improvement. You want to keep that outside noise where it belongs. Look, man, it's no question that great windows will seal your house up, save you money, make your home feel better. But the sound issue is so unique in Florida. You know, for many days of the year, you're hearing those weed eaters and mowers at all hours of the morning. These windows are so quiet, and they're offering rebates now of $100 per window and $200 per door. They also have 24-month, no money down, no payment, and no interest financing as well. So for that completely free in-home consultation, it's easy. Just call FAS or visit them online. It's trusttheleaderfas.com.
Hey. If you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Vice President Harris.
They are out of their mind.
Former President Trump.
We have to set the record straight.
Go toe-to-toe in Philly.
The presidential debate.
Listen tomorrow night at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 News Channel.
Or search debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Oh, no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You probably don't know this or care, but we have web goals. So go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Yeah, Jim, this is Tim from Daytona. Yeah, you can be a cop. You just got to pass their physical. But after that, donuts forever, baby. Woo!
Good afternoon, the Jim Colbert Show. This is Prince of the Island. Jimmy, why is it that you guys only goes to Mondora? I understand Barb because she's not allowed to move until she get married, but you are not allowed to go to Cape Canaveral, Barb, because of your shenanigans.
My shenanigans?
With Jack Kane. When are you guys coming down to Melbourne or Satellite Beach?
Well, invite us.
Or some other places apart Mondora?
Well, buddy, here's the thing. The city of Mount Dora works with us, so that works out really well for us. You have to have the city that wants you there and works with you and allows you to do cool events. And, yeah, we're planning on getting to Mount Dora, or excuse me, to Melbourne out there next year on more beach side. We do need to go to the beach more.
Yeah, and I will be, actually, because the annual NKF Surf Fest is happening in Columbus Day weekend, so that's going to be November 12th through October 12th through the 14th.
Nice.
And that Sunday I will be out there in Cocoa Beach, and they'll have the Taste of Brevard. That's going to be a lot of fun. And also, actually, the Monsters, their next brew bus is happening in October. We'll be announcing that shortly, and that is going through Brevard.
Absolutely nice, man. That's awesome.
Wow, it's like Jack is psychic and knew that talkback was coming in and ready answer, dude.
How good is he? All right.
That's awesome.
I'm a Brevard guy. That's where I moved when I moved down here in '89. Spent 10 years there and then moved here.
Those are my favorite beaches as well.
Yeah. I agree that. I like that. They're a little quieter down there for sure.
And
that Satellite Beach area, it's great.
The Kennedy Space Center visitor count. Come on.
I got a question for you guys, just real quick.
Another one.
No, stop.
All you are a question.
When you go to the bathroom, in the female bathroom here in the building, right?
Yes.
And you go, stop, Jack. You're such a creepy F.
I don't mind them. Let it go. No, I do not hover.
And you put your hand under the paper towel dispenser, and it automatically dispenses a paper towel, right?
Usually.
How much do you get? How much paper towel do you get?
Like about
Who is programming the paper towel machine in our bathroom? It gives us about half a sheet of toilet paper worth of. It is I don't know who's doing it, and I don't know if that's where they've chosen to save money, but we get, and I'm not kidding, we get 3 inches
of paper
towel to dry our hands.
I don't know if it's a battery setting or there's something wrong with it where it only gives you a little bit.
It's just a touch. I mean, you have to, and the thing is not like I'm not going to sit there 15 times and I'll get how much I want. You're not doing anything. I mean, just because you're giving me 3 inches, that doesn't sound.
Mark that.
Mark that.
At least this is something that wouldn't get Jim angry.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, seriously.
I just don't know. It seems like somebody tuned it back. Like you could go in there and tune it back. Somebody tuned it back. They thought somebody was using too much paper towel.
No, I thought you were going to mention the when you pull on the toilet paper and the whole cover comes flying off at you.
That's the worst.
Good time.
Have you ever?
I guess I'm here for a while.
Well, the worst thing you can do in our bathrooms is sit down and assume there's toilet paper. Because you can't see it because those big rolls, there's those cheap big rolls that look like
yeah, you got to look.
They look like tractor tires, and then you'll sit down there and you'll start your business, and then you panic because now you got to duck waddle to another stall to find some toilet paper. Let me tell you.
Well, just go to the paper dispenser, paper toweling dispenser.
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go next door. It's easy. You can't crawl under them. Who's doing that?
Well, the last time you just put your foot and started tapping for the person next to you, that didn't work out as expected.
Oh, that's
no,
right.
but he did get a date.
Yeah, the guy was a senator. Next thing you know, we're making out. But listen, man, I'm not kidding. Like I had to duck walk listen.
You had to duck walk with doo-doo butt?
Listen, I did have to do
could
that.
Be a show
this
title,
wasn't
right?
today, by the way. This was a while back. But I mean, I got in there, I did my thing, and I was like pre-show, and then I reach over and I'm like, there is no way this is happening to me. There's no way, because you can't tell.
I
and
know.
because of it, it's so cheap that when you tear it, sometimes it tears up into the dispenser. And you can't tell. So you sit down there and you are like, it's glorious. You've been waiting all morning for this moment. You got your cell phone. You've watched some cool videos on Insta. You are ready to get done and go in and do the show. And you reach under there, there's nothing. And then you're like panicking.
Yeah.
Because then during the duck waddle, you know what? You want the last thing to happen is somebody to come bopping through the door.
While you're dangling?
While I'm dangling.
And duck walking?
Oh, man.
The dangle and duck walk.
A texter or someone just called and said he works as a plumber, but he said there's settings in those machines, and 1 through 4 on how much paper it will.
Well, somebody set it on a half then, because that's about what we're getting. That roll of paper they have in there is going to last until 2029 at this rate. Unbelievable. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031.
Looking for a job?
Yeah, give me a job.
Well, you said you were considering a career in law enforcement.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Save us all, Jack. Tell him about something else.
Maybe talking out of turn a little bit there, Jack. I in the bathroom, I was able to think about it.
If maybe the psych tests prove that you might not be someone they want armed. Roaming the streets.
It's guys like you that make me nothing. I have to pinch that one. Sorry.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Combining topics.
Seriously.
If you're looking for a new job, you want to make a career change, well, you can join us at the Florida Now Jobs Fair. This is happening Wednesday, September 18th. So, a week from Wednesday, it's going to be happening at the Science Center from noon to 4 p.m. They've done this a couple times a year for the past few years. These are wildly successful
they are.
in helping connecting employers with people looking for work. And matter of fact, on that Wednesday, you could connect with over 70 recruiters right here in the Central Florida area, some even offering on-the-spot interviews, and your next career just might be right in front of you. Now, if you want information, if you're looking for work, this job fair is a week from Wednesday. Go online to fljobsnow.com. That's fljobsnow.com. And join us Wednesday, September 18th at the Orlando Science Center. It's noon to 4 p.m. And, get your clothes ready, get your resume ready, and go out and get yourself a job.
That's right, just tell your boss that you have a client lunch and then skip on over and see if you can find a better gig.
Lunch. Say you got a doctor's appointment at lunch.
Exactly. Just say it's female problems. They will ask you nothing after that.
They do noon to 4. It's perfect. It's right now. Oh, by the way, at the Orlando Science Center, parking is free that day.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
You go in the parking garage, you get your ticket, they'll validate it inside.
And you walk across the tunnel, don't have to worry about the ring.
Yep.
All right, 407-916-1041. This used to be an honor, but now 1 in 3 Americans say, no, thank you. I'll tell you what that is next.
Take us with you anywhere. Yep, even there. Follow Real Radio 104.1 on the free iHeartRadio app. Just please wash your hands when you're done.
Traffic remains backed up on I-4 east and westbound today throughout the Orlando area, all the way up in Volusia, down through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Still seeing a crash blocking multiple lanes northbound on Florida's Turnpike near the Turkey Lake Service Plaza and I-4. No problems at this time for those traveling on the 408. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, guys, listen up. Jim here for my friends over at the Nickley Group. If you sat and you've been very patient for the last year, you're like, man, I'm going to wait for those rates to drop. And the instant they drop, we are going to make our move. Our dream house is right around the corner. But here's the problem. Everybody else is thinking the same exact thing. They've been waiting as well. And now that the rates are lower than they've been in a year, what are you going to do? If you don't have a tool to kind of manage these systems, Nickley Group can help you do that. These guys are next-level realtors, complete next-level realtors. And I'll tell you something else. The reason why you may want to choose these guys before you make a move is because not only do they sell homes for an average of 6% more, they sell them twice as fast as well. That's more money in your pocket faster, so you can make that move to your next dream home. And don't believe the news that the market is softening here in Orlando. That is untrue. Orlando homes are still selling for record prices. So if you're considering selling for any reason, maybe you're downsizing or relocating, contact the Nickley Group, because on their website, tons of things can happen for you. You can get your home valued instantly. You can get a guaranteed cash offer, or you can just list your home. Do all of that at thenickley.com. And they want you to Google them. 3,000 5-star reviews. They're awesome. If you ask anybody in the real estate world, they'll tell you this is an elite group of people that really do one thing, and that's focus on your needs. That's what they're all about. Next level real estate experience. It's thenickley.com. NICKLEY group.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When an injured worker left me a message that said, "You probably won't call me back. I'm just a nobody," I called him right back. Nobody's a nobody, and no one deserves a better firm than you.
He calls to tell me that he's been in an accident, and I'm just scared to death.
I couldn't have hoped for anybody better than Morgan & Morgan. It makes you feel like you're worth something.
It really did feel like family.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Is it a cold, allergies, or could it be a sinus issue? Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you find out. A recent study has shown that 45% of patients who suffer from allergies also suffer from chronic sinus issues that are often left untreated. So ditch those nasal sprays and over-the-counter meds for good and find a solution that actually works. The specialists at Aspire Allergy and Sinus make it easy by identifying the problem and creating a custom plan to tackle it. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. When people ask me what I do for a living, I don't even blink. I'm an accident attorney. For those who've never been in an accident, that carries a negative connotation. For those who have, they understand. They need an attorney to fight a billion-dollar insurance company, to make sure their bills are paid and that their future is protected. I'm very proud of what I do, and I take it very serious. If that works for you, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
It's the Central Florida International Auto Show at the Orange County Convention Center, November 14th through the 17th. Explore new cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Buy tickets now and save $2 per ticket. Get tickets at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
Steve Kramer here with the Divorce Tip.
Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. One firm for life.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Hey, so apparently Facebook is still a thing. Search Gym Members and join our group.
Well, Jimmy, now you know what the ladies felt like when the Pride of Palatka only gave them 3 inches.
Seriously, right, dude?
How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, look at the bathroom situation this way. At least it's not the toilet paper only giving you about 3 inches.
That's bad, too.
That's a good point.
We've got a breach.
I claim BS, BS, BS. Neither one of you guys could do 15 push-ups at all. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Eagle Eye.
I mean...
Yeah, bring your money, boss.
Yeah, well, of course, you can over the course of the show, but not all at once. And not proper push-ups.
Bring your money, boss.
I say BS.
Yeah, any day.
Yeah, bring your money, big dog. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is as well.
Yes.
We do have some breaking news. Unfortunately, we have some breaking news.
And, thanks to the listeners, they let us know right away at 77031. But, yes, we have lost one of the great actors, one of the best voices. Actor James Earl Jones has died at the age of 93, according to multiple sources. He's among a group of select entertainers known as the EGOT, the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. He was most well known for being the voice of Star Wars villain Darth Vader, but he starred in films such as Field of Dreams, Lion King, The Sandlot, The Hunt for Red October. He passed away at his home in New York.
Coming to America? Are you
Coming
kidding?
to America?
Absolutely brilliant. Roots. Yeah.
Oh, my God, that was such a pivotal.
Incredible, man. Incredible. It was weird. I was telling Deb during the break when we found out, right as we were going to break, actually, and I looked at her. I said, "Is the most famous thing he did Darth Vader's voice? Like he did something that he's most famous for. He was never seen. Like he could have literally just done that voice, and no one would have ever known what he looked like.
Yeah,
and I think he still would have been just as popular, maybe. Incredible voice.
And I believe he had to overcome a speech impediment.
Yes,
stuttering.
He had a stutter.
Yeah. Incredible. One of the most forceful. I mean, it's supposed to be a wonderful cat. So
isn't he also the voice of CNN?
Yeah, he was the voice of CNN for a while.
CNN.
This is CNN. All right, 407-916-1041. Of course, we get any more news about that, we'll let you know. He was 93 years old, lived a nice full life, gave us a lot of entertainment that'll carry on for generations.
Oh, without a doubt.
When we went to break, I told you guys this used to be an honor, but now 1 in 3 Americans say no to this. What do you think I'm talking about? And can I tell you, I bet most people are probably happy that this has become kind of untenable for a lot of people.
Used to be an honor.
It used to be an honor.
Jury duty.
There's if I say one word, you'll get it immediately. It used to be an honor to be invited to this.
The White House.
No. Oh, really? Wow.
A retirement party?
No.
Baby shower?
No. God almighty, really?
Wedding?
Wedding is the answer. 1 in 3 people say now if they're invited to a wedding, they are not going. And it's solely for one reason.
Money.
It's too damn expensive.
Well, when you think about it, like when couples have like a destination wedding, that's really something, personally, I would quiz family and friends. Like, is this something that y'all would be up for? Because that's asking a lot.
I agree with you. Like, send out a feeler email or something. Because I remember when Ross was, that run. Do you guys remember that one year? I think maybe the second or third year of the show when Ross just got in it, where he was invited to like 4 or 5 weddings in what seemed to be a 6 or 7 month period of time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. It might not have been 4 or 5, but it was at least 3 that he had to go to. One in Miami, one was up one was up like in Canada, or something like that. And he used to tell me this. He goes, man, it is an honor to be invited to these things because, you're on that short list of people that they want to share with that event. And of course, when you're talking about the union of two people, they only want the people that when they can look out in that crowd that they know have the best in their heart for that couple and stuff. It is an honor to be invited to a wedding, I think.
Yes.
But man, when you invite somebody to a wedding, like, and it's like, in Banff or somewhere where it's
Right.
like, air flight there and back.
Hotel, rental
rooms,
car.
food, rental cars. You got to
Something to wear, a gift.
Yeah, and the
Your
gift.
presence isn't enough. Unfortunately, you still have to bring a gift.
And so now it says 1 in 3 Americans are simply saying cannot make it, cannot afford to go.
As someone who's planning a wedding, this is good news.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I think most people are probably going to be pretty happy because now, now they have that thing where now it's not, because you got to remember, man, if I invite you to my wedding and you tell me you can't afford it, that's embarrassing. To a lot of
It
people,
is.
they'd be like, "Look, I'd love to come, but unfortunately, we're not in the financial position to come there." And I think a lot of that may be based around the gift.
That happened with me actually, with one of my college best friends.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I was working in the theme parks.
What do you do?
I didn't have the money to get the dress, much less the airfare to get to Minneapolis, much less the gift. So yeah.
And my daughters were in that wheelhouse too, where a lot of their friends were getting married at 25, 26, 27 years old, and they were getting invited to these weddings up and down the coast. And I'm like, daggone, man, how do you keep up with that? And she was invited to be in a number of these weddings. That's a dress for $300, not to mention all the other things you have to get. You have to pay for your hair, your makeup.
I think there's a thing going on where Italy seems to be a popular destination right now for weddings.
Yeah.
Because I believe Sabrina's in Italy to go to a wedding.
Oh, is she really?
My daughter is going in 2 weeks to Italy for a wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, she wanted to go to Italy.
Yeah.
And then a wedding invitation arrived, and she's like, well, that seems like a good excuse.
Well, well, my daughter got married in Colorado a few years back, and everybody, and that's where she lives. So that's where she's going to come back down here to get married, because she had people up there that were friends as well. So everybody had to travel up to Colorado, and a few of the people couldn't make it, because, it's just too expensive to go up there.
It is. You have to have the coffers. It's not,
And it says average American. What do you think the average American spends for a local wedding? Like if you're just going to a wedding of a friend here in town, how much do you think it'll cost you just to go to a wedding here in Orlando?
30 G's.
No. To go to a wedding.
Go to a wedding. Sorry, I'm back in my position.
Not pay for one. Yeah, just go to just as a guest. Go to one. And assuming everything you just said, you got to buy a gift. You want to look nice. Maybe you have to get a babysitter. Maybe if it's down by Disney or something, you want to make sure that you're not driving when having some drinks. You rent a room down there.
I would say anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah, I would have guessed that as well. It's a little lower than that, though, about $360.
Well, that's good.
For a person just to go to a local wedding. For an out-of-town wedding is the money you're talking about. About $900 is average to visit a wedding that's out of town. And by the way, they don't even say out of the state. They just say out of town. So, it could just be Miami or Jacksonville or Tampa, St. Pete.
Or Savannah.
Or Savannah, Georgia, right? And then if you're in the wedding party...
Oh,
that's when it gets real expensive.
Very.
Can you believe what it costs to be in a wedding? So basically, if you think about this, if you're out there, guys, and listening to me right now and you're planning a wedding, and don't let this hinder you because, it is what it is. Weddings will always go on regardless of the number. But when you ask someone to be part of your wedding party, you're basically telling them, hey, look, I need you to spend $1,200 to come to this party. $1,200 is what it costs an average person that's in the wedding party. Wow. Male, female, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure with the women, it's even more. Is it customary, by the way, for your hair and makeup to be paid for by the wedding party?
If you're in the wedding party?
If you're in the wedding, is it customary for your hair and makeup to get paid for?
Yes.
Yeah, because the same stylist who'd be doing my hair would also be doing my bridesmaids.
Right. Now, it says here as well that some people will go, but they're saying one of the new trends with going to the wedding is not bringing a gift. Just write a letter of like a letter of, I've watched you grow up. I've watched you two through the years.
Right.
You're going to da-da-da. And it's just like almost like an affirmation kind of thing to give as a gift in lieu of giving, that air fryer. And I have to tell you, if I was getting married again and I had friends that gave me a letter instead of an air fryer, I'd never talk to you again. And it would take me zero time to make that decision. Like, you're going to come and eat my chicken and get me a letter? No thanks, buddy.
Right, exactly. Well, and my bigger issue, so when I got married the first time, part of the reason why I chose St. Augustine was to whittle down the number of people who wouldn't bother to come to the ceremony, but they would allow us to feed them and let them drink our booze.
Oh, really?
So it's like, if you're not going to come to the ceremony where the actual wedding takes place, don't show up to the reception. That is just way rude.
This is an interesting little study. They went to Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, and Baby Boomers, and they said, do you think it's okay to attend a wedding without bringing a gift? What percentage of those groups do you think said yes, the average of these groups? I'll help you out. It's 60% of them said it's okay to go to a wedding without a gift.
It's difficult, the gift thing.
Yeah. 60% of the average of those groups of people. Gen Z said 72% of them said, yeah, I could be able to go to a wedding without a gift.
Last wedding I got invited to, I couldn't go, but I did send a gift. Never got a thank you.
Are you serious?
That is such a lost art.
Let me tell you who it was.
Was it Jim Colbert?
No.
Okay. Because that would be something that guy would do.
No, I wasn't invited to that wedding.
Yeah, no. Because I didn't think that you would bring me a gift.
Man.
Anyway, 407-916-1041.
Someone just texted us, in the wedding party, we paid for rooms, hair, clothing, etc. Our wedding was in Tallahassee, cost $52,000.
Oh.
248 guests.
Yeah, that's too much. I got to tell you, that's too much. I think you're going to see a reduction in that greatly. I think the days of, like, outside of the affluent, I think the days of 100-person weddings are pretty much over. I think it's going to be more, maybe a little bit more contained than that. I like 60 people seems more comfy.
I agree.
Hey, Justin, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up, brother?
Just want to say, me and my wife did a destination down in Punta Cana in the Dominican down there at a all-inclusive resort, and the main reason we did it down there was because it was so much cheaper to do down there. The entire wedding with ceremony, food, everything was like $5,500 at an all-inclusive. So basically what we did was after we sent out the invitations, it was going to be a small guest list anyways, but we called everybody and basically said, if you can't make it, we totally understand. We're doing this because we're trying to cheap it out on our end. Don't feel bad. And that's kind of how we did it. It was great. Everybody loved it who came.
Yeah, and again, thanks for your call. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, Justin, how many people showed up?
Her family, total, probably close to 40, 35.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty sizable.
That sounds
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
All right,
it was fun. It was a great wedding. Can't recommend Punta Cana. Great call.
All right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that very much. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. I couldn't imagine planning another wedding. I don't think I'd do it.
Oh, no, yeah.
Stop.
I know, I swear to God, I don't think I'd do it. I would just go to the courthouse and say, do it. Just get it over with. Like an execution.
Everything is so different and has changed.
Yeah.
Plus, planning a wedding at my age is different than when I planned one.
Mm-hmm.
Just
a few years back?
Just a couple.
Yeah, right. 407.
You got to figure out what you're going to wear.
407.
I've got that part down.
916-1041. Text us at 77031. So I got a quick, so.
Another question?
No, hold on. Did you guys ever snoop with your mom and dad? You snooped around?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Christmas time?
Very interesting story in the news about Heidi Klum and what her daughter found of hers. I'll tell you what that.
Oh, no.
Tell me.
I'm getting two words for you. Sex closet.
Oh, boy.
That's next.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Look, man. Listen, man, when you need a new bathroom, that can be very, very, very overwhelming. Sometimes you think to yourself and you talk to your friends about it, like, don't do that. God almighty, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. They're going to be in your house for months. It's never, ever, ever going to come out the way they say it's going to come out. They're going to swap products on you to save money for themselves, to save more money and make more money for them. But man, when you get with Rebath in Mid-Florida, that's not how it works at all. These guys are awesome. You can actually see their showroom, 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. You'll walk in, see some models set up, stop right there. That's not what they're selling. It's not the models. Those are there just to show you what their products look like configured into different bathroom ideas. Every bathroom from Rebath is a custom bathroom using your ideas, their products, their design team ideas. Next thing you know, they come up with a great idea for you to install. And they do that in just 4 to 6 days. They do it with their employees. They do it with their products, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install when it's all said and done. Very awesome people. And if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, they're going to give you $800 in upgrades. That's right, $800. Use that how you will. Maybe a floating shower door, maybe upgrade your fixtures or the tile. And they have everything you want, guys. It's a one-stop shop. You come in with your idea, they get with their design team, and next thing you know, you have a beautiful bathroom ready to install and enjoy for the remainder of your life. They're awesome. Hop on board today. It's rebathmidfla.com. Check out those before and afters, then book your appointment. It's rebathmidfla.com.
Centel Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Centel Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentelMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
The Jim Colbert Show question of the day is available for you to let us know what you think in our YouTube chat. Just search YouTube and go to YouTube and search Jim Colbert Show. Watch the show there. Take part in the chat. Today it's brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com. That's Brad Siebert. He is the person who can help. WeAreNotTheBanks.com is the website to go to when it comes time for mortgages. Rates dropping. Maybe now is the time for a refi. For some people, that will be yes. And Brad can help you through that process. Or is it a new home? Maybe now you're moving into a new home. Secure your mortgage. Brad can help at WeAreNotTheBanks.com. I used him for my refi several years ago. Fast, easy, got a great rate. Brad let me know everything I needed every step of the way, answered every question I had. He can help you like he helped me. The website is WeAreNotTheBanks.com. NMLS ID number 66247, equal housing opportunity.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The cutback, and Gulo puts it home!
Orlando City returns home in 2 weeks for Hispanic Heritage Night as the Lions take on the New England Revolution on Saturday, September 14th at 7:30 p.m., presented by Walt Disney World. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. Don't forget to tune in an hour before the match at 6:30 to catch Kickoff Minus 60 airing exclusively on the Lion Nation app.
Hello, I'm Scott Strauss. On 9/11, I was a New York City police officer assigned to finding survivors buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. Those were difficult days, but what kept me going was seeing the way Americans joined together in unity. It didn't matter if you were a Democrat or Republican or anything else. For 9/11 this year, now a National Day of Service, let's rekindle that spirit of unity by doing good deeds. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Call 844-ADD-HELP-5. That's 844-ADD-HELP-5.
It's the political heavyweight event.
We like a good fight.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump.
Here, we're going to have some fun, right?
Lace their purple gloves and go for the knockout punch.
You know, when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for.
Which candidate will deliver?
I look forward to that debate.
Listen tomorrow night at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 News channel or search debate on the free iHeart Radio app.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Want more from us? At The Jim Colbert Show on Instagram. Follow us.
Who do you think could do more push-ups, Jim or our favorite D-bag from Rockledge?
Oh.
This is something we need to find out.
What it do, Colbert Crew? You know who? Your favorite T-bag in Rockledge. I'm with Mama T-bag, too. Say hi, Mama. Hi. She's excited.
My bad.
We both just got our haircuts. Now time to get a taco salad.
Taco salad. Yeah, you guys definitely beat that.
Are we basically his vlog?
We are.
Or his blog? Is
I
that
think
basically
so.
what it is? He just calls in and leaves these little crumbs. He Hansels and Gretels us into his life.
I should save him. We can make a nice book out of it.
No joke. He just called us to tell us that him and his mom got a haircut and they're going to get some tacos.
She's like, get off the damn phone.
Taco salad. There you go.
Taco salad.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Got some tickets for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming up in just a few minutes for trivia, so stay tuned for that. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is here as well.
Also, Orlando City tickets today.
Yeah, very nice.
Going to be your choice.
That's right. Heidi Klum, famously a supermodel back in the day, like in the 90s. Gorgeous.
Well, she's, I think, 50 now or low 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's well under 51 years old.
But, I mean, she's on, I watch her every week. My wife and I watch America's Got Talent. Something I watch with my daughters long ago. It's great summer entertainment that they run. What?
Well, especially when it's hosted by a supermodel.
She's 51, by the way.
51 years old. And looks amazing, by the way.
I was so close with the low 50s.
Yeah.
The
you missed it by just a little bit, buddy.
I watch it for Howie Mandel.
Yeah, sure.
Of course you do. Yeah, we know that.
And a variety of acts.
Yeah.
And some incredible cleavage.
And she was the one that was married to Seal, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for quite a while, actually.
By the way, Sofia Vergara sits right next to her.
Oh, yeah. God almighty, you're right, man. What am I doing? I don't even care.
Watching Pimple Popper.
I wouldn't even care who they brought out.
Well, the live show, Jim, the semifinals are on this week, but it's going to be Wednesday and Thursday because of the debate on Tuesday.
Ah, very nice.
And she's also famous for her Halloween costumes.
Is she really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Everyone
that.
waits to see every year what Heidi Klum is going to be.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Google some of the costumes that they're over the top.
Really?
Oh, like she'll take a year, and she's like a carnival club in Brazil. She'll take a year. She'll get out of Halloween and start planning her costume for the very next year.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at. Oh, wow. Wow, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's known for her Halloween costumes.
Wow.
Apparently, she's about to be known for something else. Give us the deets.
Yeah, what do you got?
So here's what
Come
happened.
on, let's
Now,
talk.
I don't know. She calls it this. I didn't call it this, but I think everybody kind of has this. And if you've ever snooped through your parents' bedroom when they were away, I'm sure you probably found some stuff you weren't supposed to find. I found a trove of dirty magazines, and I mean dirty. My old man had a kink, man. I got to tell you, my old man back in the day did not even try to hide some of these things. I mean, remember the French one, Oui?
Oh, yeah.
OUI.
I've got a copy of that.
Yeah.
I do.
Remember Swank?
I have that too.
Yeah, a copy of Swank.
Ace and Gent as well.
Yeah, Gent was another one.
In my last house in Melbourne, my first house, it was built in '66, and I found a stack of these in the attic under the insulation. And they were all from like 1967 or so. So the original owner of the house stashed them up there and forgot about them.
Yeah.
Ace We was one of them.
Yeah. But when you're that age, like I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, and you find that stuff, and again, like as a kid, who didn't walk in your mom when she was changing or something? I mean, you saw what it looked like and everything. You're naked, you saw it and everything.
What look like, Jimmy?
But then when you go to these magazines and they really show you what's happening, you're like, what happened to her? Is she okay? Is she going to be okay? So what happened was this, like Heidi Klum apparently has a sex closet in her bedroom, and it's not a closet per se. It's not like you open it up and it's like like those gun, where you open up, it's like all these Uzis and AKs and stuff. It's nothing like that.
So it's not like the Red Room from 50 Shades of Grey?
It's not like the Red Room from 50 Shades of Grey. It's not quite that far, but she talked about it on this podcast called Skinny Confidential. And she talked about her daughter, Lenny, finding her sex closet when she was pretty young, and I guess she found it and kind of knew what it was, and they was with a friend when they found it and kind of giggled. But then they found the interesting part was how she categorized her toys.
Okay.
Well, there was 2 ways that she categorized her toys:
male and female.
Nope.
Size.
Nope. Well, one of them was kind of size.
Oh, black and white.
No. Yeah. Mood.
Oh.
Yeah, mood. So if she's in a certain mood, she had a vibrator for a certain mood. Like maybe she wanted to be a little more elegant. That was one mood. And then she had one just like, truck stop bathroom. Everybody knows that one. That one doesn't have any money.
Suction cups to the wall.
That one doesn't have any money and needs a place to sleep tonight.
Wants to borrow your debit card and your car.
I'll be right back. I'm just getting chips and a Slim Jim. But she also does it. She does by by mood. They're color coded, and then some of them are, of course, by size.
Color coded.
Yeah. She has wigs.
That's commitment,
So
man.
what's that? If she has to send someone for it? Oh no, the purple one.
And apparently, I guess the person she's with, I don't know who she's with or whatever. Like,
I believe she's married again.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's and they interviewed the guy that she's with, and she says, I don't have any problem with Heidi having a sex closet. The problem is she just leaves these things all over the place in the bedroom. Like if you walk into the room, there could be one, like her daughter found one and asked what it was, and she said it was a face massager. But then she, of course, would not let her massage her own face with it.
Right.
Because that would make you the worst parent in the history of worst parents.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she found my sex closet. She goes, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was going through it with my friends, and I was like, Mom, what is this? A microphone? They're like, no, put it down. And whatever you do not talk into it. Do not. We are not singing into that microphone tonight. It got sung into last night, and it's tired. It says you can have a lot of things. You can have wigs, you can have outfits, shoes, boots. I mean, I've had relationships in the past where they've been sick, and I would come home being a nurse, and I'm like, "How's my patient?" And I just got laughed at, and she said that's a really big flag. Like if you think about that, you're laying in there and you're not feeling all that well, and Heidi Blinking Klum comes in wearing a nurse's outfit. That is the cure for COVID. That is the cure. Put that in a pill and everybody's better.
Yeah.
But I mean, the vibrator thing, I mean, color coded for sure. I mean, I get that. And then one coordinated by size. So it's mood, color, and size. But she has a bunch of other stuff in there, like a lot of costume stuff, which makes sense with the Halloween thing.
Well, I know Kate Moss has a 24 karat gold one.
Really? Does she now?
Yep.
Can't make it feel any better.
I can't imagine it does.
Yeah. I've never done the dress up thing. Did you guys ever do that? In the role playing? Did you guys ever do any role playing stuff?
What do you mean? Give me more details.
Where you like? Okay, so we knew.
You have a wig?
Well, I do not have a wig.
Have you ever worn a wig?
I have worn a wig. That is not a story you're getting today, though. No, not at all. But there are people who do the fantasies, like in the beginning of that movie that Vince Vaughn did with Reese Witherspoon, where she's like in the bar and he comes in, he tries some cheesy pickup line. And,
4 Christmases?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah, exactly like
it?
that. Yeah, that's it. Never, I would be so embarrassed to do it. I don't know that I have the wherewithal in me to do that. Like, my wife is in a bar. She's at the bar, and I come up and act like I don't know her, and then try to hit on her and take her home.
Just try it.
After you have to beat up the dude who is hitting on her,
Yeah.
who's also hitting on her.
But the thing is, I don't think I can keep a straight face because we're pretty cut and dry kind of people. I don't know that we have that kind of gear of being like that. I don't think I have the gear of dressing up like an old Southern gentleman to pick up a woman in a crinoline. I don't think I have that in me. And dear Lord, woman, I don't think I have
think
that
you're
in
going
me.
back way too
We really like the
far.
colonial stuff,
I
though.
guess.
Really into the colonial stuff.
Like to recreate Gone with the Wind as often as possible, huh?
It's going to take me a minute to get through all that, huh? But we've never, I mean, you guys ever
Damn
done
it,
any of this?
Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
Any role playing in your world, guys? No? Yeah? Anybody? No, all right. Nobody wants to
You're
share?
not getting that story today.
Nobody wants to share?
No.
Not even a little bit?
You mean live on microphones?
No,
yeah, no.
just like I did. I mean, we're adults. People do this kind of stuff. I mean, it's not embarrassing. I mean, if you played if you dressed up like something and like one of the ones I was, like my wife was a hitchhiker and I was going to
There you go.
I was going to drive by and pick her up.
Which you guys never followed through on that?
She got picked up by somebody else. So then the fantasy turned into me finding her. Gotta tell you, hard to keep yourself prepared for that.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean, when you go into this thing, you're like, okay, you look down, like, ready to go. And then when your wife gets abducted during your sex fantasy, and then you have to call the cops and stuff.
Yeah,
elevate her down, man. Yeah. Elevate her down. Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of that stuff. I mean, we've been to those, we've been to resorts where a lot of that stuff goes on. But man,
See, it's funny because that I would have such a hard time with.
Like just being around it? Like, you don't have to be involved in it.
No,
or
I
anything.
know,
You can
but
just,
I
you
just,
can just
like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's embarrassing a little bit at first. I mean, you don't really know what to think, and then everybody's on the same page, so it doesn't really matter. But you see some crazy stuff. Like they would do these foam parties, and dudes would show up dressed like firemen, and then their wife would be like a donkey, and you can't figure it out. I mean, that would be half the battle. It's just simply trying to figure out what they were trying to achieve with their sexual fantasy based on the costumes.
All I know is that I've never wanted to see vacation pictures more than I want to see
Oh,
Jack's.
yeah. One was
I know.
Yes, yes, sir. Yep, not just jungle pics either.
Jungle pics? What's a jungle pic?
Well, like, look at this pretty flower. Look at this
Oh,
hummingbird.
yeah, I thought you meant something else.
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought it was code.
I brought pictures back from one of my trips to Jamaica, and I was called out because they all were at like 6 a.m. around the resort.
Mm-hmm.
Where there was no other people.
Right. Yeah. No other people.
Didn't have to worry about, can't take that picture.
Yeah, but some of those places
Nope,
are
can't
like
take that photo.
crazy. You're just like walking by, you're like, and you just walk by them like it's happening, and you just walking by them like, oh, in a lawn chair? Like, dude, in a lawn chair? Like, those night rooms are nice. He's the way you do that in a lawn chair. He's just looking away like a dog.
Exactly.
You know, when a dog goes to the bathroom
And they don't like to be watched.
and it just stares out into the sky. That's what it's like when you're walking by one of this couple. She's just staring out in the sky, trying to pick out a constellation. Oh, look.
Their wait staff is just waiting to drop the daiquiris. When do you bring the drinks?
407. They said it's a big closet. A lot of outfits in there, you know. Never done the outfit thing. God, maybe I should try that.
I once saw a woman on a talk show who had to set an alarm. That's how often she used her friends.
Get out of here, really?
Had to set an alarm so that she would wait that certain amount of time.
Okay, so hold on for a second now. Well, I mean, scientifically, this is a probe. Scientifically.
Oh, that's what kind of probe.
No,
okay.
let me ask because I do not know.
Right.
Okay, so for guys, multiples are unique. Right.
Right.
Okay.
I wasn't aware that you guys can.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes. I mean, when I was like 20. Anyway. But, like, I mean, you guys could do it that much? Like, you could have, like, that many in a day? Like, I mean, is it really, you can?
Yeah.
You can have that many in a day? Like, you could do it, like, every hour and get to that point every hour?
Isn't it amazing?
Well, I can't do that. Can you?
No. Wait.
Yeah.
For someone else or for me?
No, for you.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
That's the superpower. They can do that. We can't do that.
They have that ability.
Well, I don't want to hear you complaining about anything anymore then.
Well, that's getting there.
Oh, well, I mean, really?
I mean,
she said it's possible.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
possible.
It's like Mount Everest.
Exactly.
It's possible to get up there, but I don't know if I'm making it.
Trophy for you, sir. Trophy for you.
He's like, I guess I could free dive to the Titanic.
If I survived the trip once, I don't know if I'm coming back.
Exactly. Now that's what I call a peak.
Damn, that's awesome. Good for you guys. That's great. God, that's really good. So happy for you. I'm truly
amazed
amazed.
what I can get done in a 3-minute commercial break.
Easy, come on now. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Why not? You
can't
guys joke about it.
What about going to the bathroom and taking care of that?
No,
in the
not
show?
here.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
What do you mean, ooh? Sometimes something's gonna happen. Sometimes you're gonna hear.
Yeah, I don't need Jorge walking in during that time.
Oh yeah, you definitely do not.
Hola.
You definitely do not.
Un momentico. Momentico.
He walked in on me one time.
Oh, no.
I was duck waddling from one thing to the other.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, no, he didn't know.
toilet
Trust me,
paper.
could you imagine? Because every time I see him in the hallway, he goes, because he says this is his joke. Is ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Colbert.
Right.
Every time I see
He
him,
does? That's his thing for you?
First time in the building, every time I see him, he goes, Mr. Jim Colbert. He says that, and I would say it would have a different tone if he saw me duck waddling from one.
Ay, que Dios mío, señor Jim Colbert.
Mr. Jim Colbert.
¿Qué pasó?
For me, he goes, "Hey, Mr. Jack," and I go, and I always go, "Hip hip, Jorge."
You have a wig, Deb? You have wigs?
No.
You don't have wigs?
Mm-mm.
You have boots?
You want one?
Son of a bitch. From your collection, Jack, or your wife's?
Who's to say?
Do you have a Skinnerd mullet wig, Jack?
They're kind of unisex, I would say.
No. You don't. Come on, dude. You don't. Come on, man.
Oh.
I don't. Listen, there are
Peg
a lot.
leg Jack.
There are a lot of images I need
Peg
in my
leg
life.
Jack.
You in a girl's wig with that voice is not one of them.
Hello.
Hello. Oh God.
I'm ready for you.
Who's not to say it's just a Halloween costume?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. Yeah.
You come home dressed up like a cop.
Yeah. A white lab.
Throw her up against the wall and tell her you're going to frisk her.
Uh huh.
Trust me, you'll be buying more costumes.
Is that the one that doesn't? Is the cop the number one?
Well, I mean, come on. They come with toys on their belt.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what is
Taser.
what is the number one though?
Nightstick.
If you were going to have your husband dressed up like somebody else, what would it be? Like with your wife, it's like wives is easy. Like I think if you ask most guys, if you wanted your wife to like do costumes or dressing up, I mean, there's probably about 3 that everybody can guess, right? Naughty nurse, 1.
Catholic school
Like the
girl.
Catholic school girl, 2.
That's why I kept my uniform.
And what's the other one? Can you still fit in that? Good for you. Good
I
for
was
you.
bigger then, actually.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. What's the other one?
Let's see. Naughty
It's
witch?
naughty nurse. Oh, is it witch?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's school teacher. Like, the hair up, the glasses.
the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But what would it be for guys? Would it be cop? And then what else? Like lumberjack?
Firefighter.
Firefighter. God almighty. God
Come on,
almighty.
dude.
And don't knock burglar.
God.
A little B&E.
I'm too afraid to ask what B&E stand for. Normally breaking and entering, but with Jack, you're never sure.
Maybe a little light choking.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with
What are
that.
you, Andrew Tate?
No, you have a
Light.
safe word.
Light choking. Safe word is I want to breathe.
Light choking, some spanking. Nothing wrong with that.
For who?
Whomever.
There's nothing wrong with it for consenting adults.
I would agree with that
God
100%.
bless. I want to be a fly on that man's wall.
You have that costume? All right, Forrest.
Thank you. French maid.
French maid.
French
that
maid.
one's so
Texting
played, isn't
service.
it? That one's so played. I
It
think the
says you.
teacher.
You think that's played more than nurse?
I think the teacher's a lot more fun.
Uh-huh.
It reserves the ability to, because you can be a dominatrix type vibe with that teacher thing. Slap them with a ruler.
Yeah.
French maid comes with a tickler.
Yeah, but teacher can make you get on your knees and bang the erasers. Jimmy's looking
I
at
gotta
me
tell
like
you,
he's never seen me.
I gotta tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you sorry. I feel Amish. right now. I feel like I'm learning the world now that you guys have kept from me. I'm like Truman in this bitch. I'm like tapping on the. Is that even real?
It's Halloween season. Go get you a cop uniform.
I don't even know you two. All right, 407-916. That's the laugh that lets me know I don't know you. And then Jack starts talking about wigs
that are unisex.
Oh God! All right.
Well, come on. Why would they be his or her wigs? Anyone can wear fake hair.
That's true. But depending
can do
on
it.
the
I
cut,
mean, come on,
you
man.
know, if it's a bob.
Come on, Jack. You know a male fake wig when you see one. I mean, my God. Oh, God. Anyway, 407-916-1041. Jesus, text us. 77031.
Don't use his name now.
All right, load him up. Trivia's next.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
It was April 10th, 1912, that the British liner RMS Titanic set sail from England.
Oh, damn.
Oh, were you like 10?
No, I was not alive when the Titanic set sail, nor when it crashed. But I do know, based on
Days later.
Thanks for clarifying.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This is Pro Bowler Sean Merriman. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Jim Harbaugh won his Charger debut over the Raiders in very Harbaugh-like fashion. Not pretty. Justin Herbert struggled, but they won it by running the ball and playing stout defense and being physical. If you want stats and flair with this Chargers team, you're going to be disappointed. Harbaugh doesn't care about what it looks like. He cares about wins, and these are your new Chargers, 1-0. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Mercedes-Benz has an SUV for you, whether it's the stylish GLC, the compact GLA, the three-row GLS, or the GLE and GLC plug-in hybrids. Visit MBUSA.com for special offers.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. September is Aging Healthy Month, so you want to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself, and it's time to be a hero and tell your friends and family about Life Imaging FLA. This really is an amazing service, guys. There's no question. When they came into town, you know, they did this for years down in South Florida. We just had a doctor in who deals with this and has dealt with this for many, many years, and he said, look, these scans are one of the number one ways that I can determine whether or not you have heart issues that could wind up being a big problem in your life. And I will tell you, when we nominated our in-laws, my in-laws, to go over and get their scan at Life Imaging FLA, my wife and I had already had the experience. We knew how amazing it was. We'd already both taken our discs over to our doctors to let them see it. And when their response was, this is amazing, this is so amazing, I'm able to give you much better, concise treatment with this kind of information, our in-laws jumped right into the scenario. And guys, they loved it. That relief call, that call when they called and said they were clear, their scans were good, nothing like hearing that. You can have that same experience. Do not wait. Do exactly what we did. Call Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And remember, you don't take off your clothes. There are no dyes. This entire process only takes a few minutes. And when you're there, you have to ask about the cancer screening as well. Early detection saves lives. Can't say that loud enough or more often. Early detection saves lives. Simply pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that call today. Make 2024 the year you finally take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays, too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Save on paint now through September 9th at Tools Ace Hardware. You can get up to 20% off gallons of Benjamin Moore Ben, Regal Select, and Aura Interior Paint. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has a huge selection of colors to choose from and friendly, helpful associates to give you expert advice on your next paint project. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. That's right, even for paint. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trendley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trendley Kramer, TK Law, one firm for life.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Prices are up everywhere, and that makes affordability a problem. And that's why I'm turning September into Accept-timber. This week at RC Hills, if you hate your car, don't accept the status quo. Just say no. Get a great deal on a new 2024 Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. Or check out our certified used trucks, SUVs, and luxury cars. RC Hill Mitsubishi and used car superstores in DeLand and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. And if you need to sell your car today, we pay you on the spot. Visit rchillbuyscars.com.
For over 30 years, Fence Outlet has been here to help you create an outdoor oasis where memories are made and dreams come alive. Let Fence Outlet partner with you to turn your backyard into your favorite destination. Go to fenceoutlet.com today to schedule your free professional estimate. License number C10252 and C10803.
So you want to be my client? You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries? Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Radio now comes with moving pictures. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
As a 42-year-old UPS man that is single and knocking them down pretty good in my age, you would be surprised how many women like to be choked. It blew my mind, and people love it.
Well, I mean,
I got one phrase for you, Miss Deb.
Hey, cowboy.
He's back. Jimmy. Nah, I'm not going to go there for you, brother. Flexi on the scene, though. 90 degrees in the Bahamas, bro.
You son of a bitch.
It was just great.
Okay,
5
dude.
days of just absolute.
Where do you get your
flipping.
microphone? It sounds
Relaxation,
too
bro.
good. What is that?
I'm out.
That's not a phone. There's no way that's a telephone. It sounds amazing.
Well, I don't know. You think if he had something special, he'd be telling us
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
for sure. Yeah. Satellite phone.
Flexi James.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack has the Jackie sack.
Oh, all aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo-choo.
Lookity clack, lookity clack.
Couple of prizes in the sack for this Monday, and the winner will get to choose either a pair of tickets to see Orlando City SC take on New England Revolution, happening this Saturday at Inter & Co Stadium. It's brought to you by WG Sports Center. Discover indoor soccer coming soon near you. Follow them at WG Sports Center. That is one of the prizes. The other one up for grabs is something a little further out, and we are talking tickets to Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Lost Christmas Eve tour. Now, this is actually happening December 14th. playing 2 shows at the Kia Center. I went last year. I've been several times, but most recently went last year. It's a fantastic show.
I went last year, too. It was pretty cool.
Heavy metal Christmas, baby. Tickets on sale Friday, September 13th, right? So this Friday, tickets are on sale for TSO. You can win them today before you can buy them. And that is what's in the Jackie Sack, which is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local. Support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company and keep it local by mentioning the Jim Colbert Show, because that's going to get you a discount.
Well done.
Book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO moving.com. Clickety-clack, dressed as a policeman. Back to you.
Thanks, Seb. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you finally got to be a cop. Al is up first.
That's a good point.
I got my baton here. You been a good boy?
Oh.
Settle down.
Who's up first?
Al.
Al right there, Tom. Al, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How about an electrician, huh?
What?
How about an electrician, stop by the house?
Oh, there you go.
Hey, exactly.
You can't stop the fantasy with these guys.
No, you can't.
All right, Al, you want to play
It's a Monday.
You want to play a little game with us, Al?
Absolutely.
Let's do it, buddy.
Want to play?
Oh, yeah. That traveling salesman.
Oh, the UPS guy. That's another good one.
Yeah. Let me ask if this is too far. Mormons on a mission. Knock, knock, man. We would like to tell you about what is that?
Come in and I'll show you.
All right, Al. This is a real easy game, buddy. I got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers, it's a lie, Al. It's untrue, buddy.
No.
I'm trying to fool you, but if you do outsmart me and you choose that correct answer, I'll send you to the Jackie Sack and off to some pretty cool shows. Your choice, by the way. Are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Here we go, buddy. On this day in 1975, Grammy award-winning Canadian singer, songwriter, actor, responsible for ushering in a rebirth of classic standards.
Oh, Michael Bublé.
That's right. He's smooth as syrup.
Oh, he's Candace's favorite.
And our friend Candace Ridge is completely obsessed with him. Matter of fact, I think she's out in L.A. right now.
Exactly.
Like going to his birthday show or something. Michael Bublé was born on this day, buddy. Here are 3 fun facts about Michael and 1 crooning lie.
Ooh.
Here we go, buddy. It's the singer, Michael Bublé. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, he holds dual citizenship of Canada and Italy. Number 2, he hails from a gifted family. His father was a bioengineer, mom's a professor, and his sister is a psychiatrist. Number 3, he said in interviews that he would give up his singing career to play professional hockey.
Whoa.
Or lastly, he only wears socks that feature the Muppets. Which of those is a lie?
I hope it's not the Muppet thing, but number 2.
Number 2 is the answer, buddy.
Oh!
You are a winner. Stab in the dark. Great job, buddy. You're a winner.
Hang on now.
Go to the old Jackie Sack and pick yourself out a pair of fine tickets and enjoy yourself.
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, Shelley.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Glenn.
Look, here's the thing. You can't get mad about it. He took a stab at it. It's a difficult question.
Wow.
If you don't know who Michael Bublé is, and even if you do, you probably don't know a bunch of this stuff.
No, I'm
The
impressed
irony-
with you.
It's Jim saying you can't get mad at
I
it.
know.
Yeah, 'cause I told
You've
you.
really turned over
It's
a new leaf.
It's a new leaf. Now, I'm going to find that guy when we get done with the show. And I'm going to F that dude's car up.
I
I'm just gonna
still
be
want Jack to play the audio of you hitting the paper. So what was number 2 again?
that he hails from a gifted family. His father is a bioengineer, his mom is a professor, and his sister is a psychiatrist. What do you think the actuality is for the family?
They're all losers?
His dad's a salmon fisherman.
Really?
And he actually worked on the salmon boats for about 6 years with his dad to help make it. And his mom,
That's tough work.
His mom's a homemaker, and I don't even know if he has siblings, to be honest with you.
Wow.
He did say in interviews that he would give up his singing career to play hockey. He is completely obsessed with the Canucks.
Yep.
Loves hockey, loves it, and actually does celebrity commentary at times for the team.
Proper Canadian.
That's right, proper Canadian. He does have dual citizenship because he is of Italian descent.
Did not know that.
Believe it or not. And he does only wear socks that feature the Muppets, and he only wears colored boxer shorts.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't look at me. It's not my fault.
Put that in the category of things Candace would know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you should have aced this test. A few other things you might not know about Michael Bublé before we get to the top of the hour. He was discovered while singing at the wedding of the Canadian Prime Minister's daughter. It so happens that David Foster, you familiar with that name?
Yeah. The David Foster?
Legendary songwriter,
Yeah.
legendary musician, married to Catherine McPhee from the first couple seasons of American Idol.
Yeah,
if
that's
I remember
right. That's right.
The guy is a monster, and he just happened to be at the wedding as an invite, and Michael Bublé got to sing for David Foster, and it basically kicked his career off. He was a wedding singer, for lack of a better word, and a karaoke guy. That's where he flexed his singing ability.
And now he's a judge on The Voice next to Snoop Dogg and Reba McEntire.
This is cool, right? His grandfather was a plumber, right? And his grandfather would go to clubs and say, if you hire my grandson to sing at your club, I'll do all your plumbing work for free.
Hot damn.
Yeah. So he would go to all the clubs he thought had a possibility of hiring Michael to have a singing night. And, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You let my grandson come in and sing for an evening, and I'll fix all your plumbing for nothing.
That's an awesome trade-off.
He's a gigantic fan of big dill pickles.
Okay.
He's got tons of them in his sex closet. Heidi's got 2 or 3 as well.
I bet she does.
And then lastly here, his song Home, right, is the most heard song in Canada since 2005.
Whoa.
So for almost 20 years, that song has been the most heard song in Canada.
I mean, you like it, but
yeah.
Damn it.
I mean, what song would that be for us? The most heard song in America for the last 20 years. That's a tough one, right? It has to be something from Taylor Swift, maybe? Or is that too new?
Might be Baby Shark.
No, that's funny. Yeah, you may be Baby Shark. You're right. All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text us at 770-3MUST. I think last week or a couple weeks ago, you had the states that curse more, the cities that curse more.
Yeah.
I have the countries that curse more than any other countries. And I'll tell you what that is next.
Awesome.
Your new Orlando home for Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. Real Radio 104.1. Fire the cannons.
Heavy traffic continues on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound by the major attractions exits. Looking at a crash blocking the shoulder westbound on I-4 between Saxon Boulevard and Dirksen Drive. Still seeing delays from the earlier crash eastbound on the beach line that was blocking the left lane between the Dallas Toll Plaza and State Road 520. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Burrito. Wendy's Breakfast Burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon, or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Guys, time to get ready for the 4th annual Taste of Space Fall Bites from September 30th to November 3rd at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. These guys are serving up an array of spectacular food and sweet treats that'll send your taste buds to out-of-this-world heights. Everything from harvest bowls to cranberry brie moon puffs, plus a bunch of other cool stuff as well. Plus, let's cheers the return of the Taste of Space Mars Teeny Shake-Off. That's going to be October 4th. Join them for that special ticketed after-hours event. Local bars and restaurants crafting their own version of the Mars Teeny. You'll have you have the chance to sample them while mingling with astronauts. Menu items are available for purchase while attending Fall Bites, but the admission is absolutely along with your admission to the park. It's absolutely a great time. I've been to 2 or 3 of these, and they are a blast. It is the 4th annual Taste of Space Fall Bites. Get your tickets at thekennedyspacecenter.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, Give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, the insurance company may make you a quick offer to go away. They may also be offering you pennies on the dollar. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Jimmy, you were asking what kind of costumes are good for guys to wear. Believe it or not, a French maid outfit is perfect for guys, too. Don't believe me? Let your wife walk in on you wearing a French maid outfit while you're cleaning the house. She'll Katy Perry you to death.
No, she will not.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah, I
cleaning.
know that on Friends, one of Ross's big fantasies was to have Rachel dress up as Princess Leia. I think that's a big fantasy among the nerds. Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a Supergirl, maybe a Batgirl.
Whip it good. Jimmy, do you have a whip? Everybody needs a whip.
Or a
no matter
riding
what
crop.
the costume is. Right, Deb?
No.
Now look, I know that he's right with the nerd kink.
Oh yeah.
But back in the day, back in the 90s, there was another kind of fantasy kink there as well. And I have to tell you, she looks better now than she looked back then. Jack is running it through his.
So in the 90s.
In the 90s, there was a show based on a character. It was a period piece character. She was very popular.
Weird Science,
And
Kelly LeBrock?
No, this was a series, a television series. And she
Nicole
actually,
Eggert?
she looks way better now than she did when she was in this series. She was a little masculine in the series. But let me tell you, she was fantasy world for a lot of dudes because of how she was dressed during the series. And of course, I'm talking about Xena the Warrior Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Xena would get you there, kid. Xena would get you there. And you're going to remember there was that underlying kind of lesbian thing because she had that assistant, that blonde assistant that she went around with everywhere, kind of like her Robin. A lot of movies made. A lot of movies made with that intact, for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. You can text us at 77031. Jack just gave me some unbelievably sad news for the culinary world. I'm sure we'll cover this with Primetime Kitchen. Actually, will we this week? I think, yeah, Fiaz is on this week. Cappy Subs.
What? Cappy's?
Cappy Subs in Maitland, Florida. It's been there since 1972. And again, that sounds weird to say that because, you know, I remember that year. I remember it well. So 72, they've been there, you know, slinging cheesesteaks and all your griddle favorites, you know, your Reubens and cheesesteaks and chicken cheesesteaks and all the hot sandwiches and cold subs. And
we've been there as a show for lunch on many occasions.
Crispy-ass fries and ice-cold sodas mixed perfectly and nowhere to sit. And you're fighting every electrical worker from here to Melbourne for a chair and a sandwich. And they are closing their doors.
Oh, that's terrible.
Which is unbelievable to me. They'll be closing September 14th. That's this Saturday, permanently, because they could not reach a deal on their lease for their property.
In other words, their landlord was like, yeah, no, you got to go.
Well, I think what's happening there, if you look at where Cappy's is, going all the way up to the corner of 1792, when you look at the development that's happening in Maitland right now, they just put that big restaurant that used to be the Outpost, and now it's going to be something else. That little plaza across the street has a few eateries. They're building that food kind of thing down in Maitland, and that's primo property right there on the corner of 1792 and Horatio or whatever. And it's been these old car shops or car lots. It really is a dilapidated looking corner. So I wonder if some big conglomerate came in and they're just basically offering everybody on that corner money so that they can build whatever they want there. So it's going to be either some entertainment complex along with apartments. That seems to be the big favorite thing to do in Maitland right now, is to build apartments that have like restaurants and services in the bottom floors.
Yeah, that dual use kind of development.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
seems
where
to
they
be
put you right on the train tracks. That's great.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. That's right. My son lived in an apartment there when he got out of school and was going to college. And that thing was basically running through his backyard. And he goes, you get used to it.
You do. But, I mean, yeah, that's one of the residences that's had complaints for the train operators to just don't blow the horn as often as you do.
Exactly right. We don't need it at 3:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
We're good.
Cappy's is looking for a new location. They actually tried to buy the building. However, they lost to another company that bought the buildings around it.
Yeah.
So I think...
So that's what's happening then, right?
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So there's a whole bunch of money to be made. It's a very popular part of town. It's like Winter Park Light. In other words, you have the beauty of what being Winter Park adjacent without the tax base and expense it costs to live in Winter Park. And for people who don't live in this area, Winter Park is probably the most expensive outside of the club areas, which would be your Isleworth and Lake Nona areas. The most expensive place to live in the city of Orlando is in that area.
Cappy's has added a food truck, and they are also now one of the featured restaurants in Exploria or Inter & Coast Stadium.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I'll be damned. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
because they do local now. So it's all local restaurants and stuff in the food on the concourse at Inter & Coast Stadium. And according to bungalower.com, they have a place there.
I think that sucks, though, because, I get it, right?
The vibe of that building is part of the thing, right?
I get it, but that's...
And the owner says that.
It's part of the gentrification of these areas, right? So they're going to bring in a snazzy new restaurant. Cappy's has its place in Central Florida, and it should be allowed to continue to have its place in Central Florida. You shouldn't have to move out the businesses that have kept this area alive for 50-plus years and all of a sudden show them the door because they're not quite shishi enough.
I know it says 72. So the original owner opened it in 67, and then the family... with the same name of Kaplan, but no relation, bought it in 72.
Got it.
And they've had it since, and the daughter, and then the son, then her son runs it. But that building looks like it's from the 50s.
Yeah, that thing is. I got to tell you, like the soda machine is outside in a room that they lock up behind plywood at night, like it's a cooler at a golf course.
Yeah, exactly.
They lock up like a padlock. I'm not joking. Their statement is this: we regret to inform everyone that we'll be closing permanently on Saturday, September 14th, around 4:00 in the afternoon. The people who bought the Cappy's property did not negotiate in good faith with us to extend our lease. And as such, we do not have a restaurant to operate out of and will be forced to close. It's been an absolute honor for my family to serve the community for the past 52 years. We deeply appreciate anyone who's walked through our doors throughout our time in service, and we'll miss being able to feed y'all every day. Closing Cappy's is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. I've been brought to tears on several occasions in the past few days, and believe me, this is not how we wanted to go out, as it is a sudden surprise to everyone, as it is to everyone else. So I guess maybe even the family got sideswiped on this deal, hoping that they would negotiate in good faith. But you know what? Business is business, and really, a lot of times there is no good faith when it comes to when it comes to when you have a group of people, investment people who have come together and they created $6, $8, $10, $12 million, and they created they created an opportunity for themselves in a good part of town to buy some buildings that have been there for a very long time, way past their due, by the way, way past their due, and then kind of develop it into something else. We've seen that throughout the area for sure. I mean, they mowed down Jeremiah's Italian Ice. That was one of the OG locations in there to put up another plaza. So it happens. I mean, could you imagine? This is like Beefy King.
Yeah.
Like if they went and they bought what's the monkey there? Is it the Drunken Monkey or Funky Monkey?
Monkey Joe's or something.
Whatever it is.
Coffee.
And then they bought the Beefy King there and decided to use that area to build something for downtown Orlando. That's kind of what it would be like for us.
If you don't own the building, you're
done.
Right. And like you said, you don't get to the top without crushing souls.
That's exactly the case. I mean, as terrible as that sounds, rarely do you get to the top without crushing a soul
Look
or
at the
two.
bright side. They could put a nice new shiny building there. Then people can egg it every Saturday morning.
Stop, don't say that.
No,
It's a
don't
crime.
do that.
But let's hope they can find another place. It's maybe an old burned out Cumberland Farms.
I ate there within the past year. You see it all the time. And every time I drive by a place that's no longer open and just sitting there vacant, I always think to myself, what would work there? What business could survive? And to me, it's always a medical marijuana facility is the answer.
Right. True Leave is always the answer, right? Yeah. True Leave is always the answer. But, they're going to doze it. They're going to build something there. They just built a brand new fire department there a few years back. It looks gorgeous. All of that area on either side has been inundated with those multi-use, residents / mixed. And it's happening everywhere. That's the new thing, by the way. It's the same exact development that's happening in Oviedo. The same concept of building the apartments above the storefronts. That's what's happening. Because you can maximize the space. You don't have to build separately.
They tried that in Winter Springs, and still I don't think there's one thing in one of those storefronts.
Yeah, it doesn't work well.
Not everywhere.
It's got to be, it's got to be somewhere where it really works. And a lot of these places aren't foot commuting places. That's what makes Winter Park so nice, is because you can live within 4 or 5 blocks. Like Baldwin's the same way.
I'm staring at this picture at Cappy's from Bogolower.com, and they have bacon cheeseburger on the sign, and it's just making me hungry.
Dude, we may have to go there tomorrow for lunch then. We have to definitely hit Cappy's one day this week. I'm guessing it's going to be impossible to get in there.
Yeah.
But we have to try to maybe hit
I
Cappy's.
think Saturday is going to be busy.
Yeah, but I mean, but here's the thing. It was always crowded either way. Like if you drove by there on a Tuesday at 11:30, it was already starting to stack up. It was packed, and it was like that until 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
We've had to fight many an electrician for bench space.
Beefy King would be the last one standing. Maybe Hot Dog Heaven out there that's in a small place. Has been there for a very long time. Hot Dog Heaven's been there since the 80s, middle 80s. Beefy King's been there for I don't know how long, but those are the establishment places in the city of Orlando.
Oh, people think you're an investor in the business taking them over, Jim.
God, I wish they'd let me in. I don't think I have enough money to do that. I don't know if I'd roll the dice on an apartment complex in Orlando anywhere right now, to be honest with you. You don't know, man. You just don't know. It's so crazy, and there's so many of them coming up. This thing they're building out in Lake County is it's crazy. It looks like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It looks literally like a multi-story prison complex. Because the buildings are and that's what they're doing. They're extending that apartment complex, and it's coming all the way to 441, if you can believe that. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. What would be the next saddest one? It would be Beefy King, right? If they shut that down.
Oh, we would be able to hear Ross Padgett cry, literally.
You literally would probably find a resistance to Beefy King shutting down, like an armed resistance, a circle formed around that store, pointing outward. If you try to shut that place down,
I agree.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Next is our good friend Ray Trenley from TK Law. We'll talk to him next.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Heavy traffic continues on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound by the major attractions exits. Looking at a crash blocking the shoulder westbound on I-4 between Saxon Boulevard and Dirksen Drive. Still seeing delays from the earlier crash eastbound on the Beach Line that was blocking the left lane between the Dallas Toll Plaza and State Road 520. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Dandy Fresh Cut Celery. Be prepared for the after-school snack attack. Create fresh, nutritious, and delicious snacks with Dandy Fresh Cut Celery. Put down the processed foods and pick up Dandy Fresh Cut Celery for a convenient and nutritious snack option that the kids will love.
Here's what Julie had to say about Renewal by Andersen of Central Florida when she left a review on Google on August 9th. Wonderful job as expected. All of our windows are officially replaced by Renewal by Andersen, the best ever. Thank you guys. I love my windows. First class. We even referred our parents, and you all are putting their windows in next week. Thank you for your class, communication, and excellence. So if you're ready to upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows and doors, this September, don't miss out on Renewal by Andersen's exclusive sale. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors, plus zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Their custom-made windows and doors are designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and reduce your energy bills, and you get to choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
We're less than 2 weeks away from our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Taking over T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st. Stream only on Hulu.
Get tickets while you still can now at AXS.com.
This year, you can be there to witness all of the incredible once-in-a-lifetime performances live and in person. Buy your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
Start your engines for the Central Florida International Auto Show November 14th to the 17th at the Orange County Convention Center with hundreds of new and unique vehicles. Buy tickets now and save $2 per ticket at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
It's the Greater Orlando Sports Commission's Celebrating Women in Sports Luncheon, presented by Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute. Wednesday, September 25th at Addition Financial Arena. Celebrate women in sports. To purchase a table, visit GreaterOrlandoSports.com.
Everyone knows the English perfected the cocktail, but the Bartesian elevated it. Bartesian delivers bar-quality cocktails at the touch of a button. Just pop in a cocktail capsule, add your favorite spirits, and voila, a tipple fit for the King of England himself. Pip pip tally-ho and bottoms up to Bartesian. Cheers! Premium cocktails on demand. For a limited time, save $50 on the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. Only at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Save on paint now through September 9th at Tools Ace Hardware. You can get up to 20% off gallons of Benjamin Moore Ben, Regal Select, and Aura Interior Paint. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has a huge selection of colors to choose from and friendly, helpful associates to give you expert advice on your next paint project. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. That's right, even for paint. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Navy Federal Credit Union is back with more eligibility. Now you can hear all your favorites like, my brother's a veteran, I get amazing rates. My mom served, I get 24/7 member support. Grandpa was a soldier and now I'm a member. And who could forget, thanks to my father who served in the military, I'm now eligible for incredible member benefits. Call 1-855-800-2102 or visit NavyFederal.org today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Wake up with football every morning and listen to my new podcast, NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal. 5 days a week, you get all the latest news, the best analysis delivered by the time you get your coffee. This show hits on every single game, every single week, but I can't do it alone, so I'm bringing in all the big guns from NFL media. Subscribe today, and you'll immediately be smarter and funnier than your friends. Listen to NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Daily to start listening.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, how's it, everyone? On this rainy Monday in the Atlantic? Yep. I gotta agree with the Prince of the Island. You guys gotta get over beachside over here. And whenever you do, I'm gonna make poke bowls for you guys.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna treat you 100% respect, give you aloha. You'll love it. So make it happen in 2025 at least.
Done and done.
Aloha.
Aloha. Brother.
Aloha.
Aloha.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome to the Jim Colbert Show. That is a talkback, by the way. You can do that. It's free. Just get that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it. Use that microphone to send your comment to Jack. He will decide whether or not you're funny or good enough to put you on the air, and then
Deal.
That's what'll happen. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. And every single Monday around 6:20 or so, this guy drops by. The firm is onefirmforlife.com. TK Law is the firm's name. The website is onefirmforlife.com. You guys know him. It's the good man, Mr. Ray Trinley.
Yay! Woohoo!
If we're doing Pokeballs, I'll pay. We just got to make it happen.
Yeah. Big fan of the Pokeball, huh?
I love me a Pokeball.
Yeah, my wife is crazy about the Pokeball. We have a couple of places in town we go. One of them is it Pokehana down on Highway 50 because they have this thing called garlic chicken. It's like little fried pieces of chicken, and they put it in this garlic sauce. But I got to tell you, it is like crack. And I've never had crack, but that's got to be close to what it is.
Have you been to? There's a sushi place in Mount Dora. Wave sushi?
Yes, Wave.
My son loves it.
Wave is...
I haven't been there yet, but I get all their targeted advertising, and it looks pretty amazing.
They just opened another location, I believe, in Maitland or Orlando.
Did he really? Yeah, my son got takeout there like right when we moved into that area. And he's like, that is the joint.
It is.
Yeah. It looks pretty good on the internet.
So Ray Trinley, of course, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com, handling a number of legal disciplines from family matters to trip and fall cases, divorces, everything in between. How has your week been? I mean, how was your weekend, I should say?
The weekend was, it was a good weekend. I was home with a wife and kids that were sick, so my plans of going to Disney and staying at the Animal Kingdom Resort were rescheduled. And
that's supposed to be one of the best places out there to stay, by the way.
That's what I've been told.
It's supposed to be amazing.
I did it 20 years ago with my family. It was fantastic.
Yeah. God, that could have been long after it opened then, right?
A little bit, yeah. So this was before my youngest was born, so this had to be before 2004.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, when he said 20 years, I wasn't thinking 2004.
I know.
It's kind of wild.
So hard to hear that, isn't it?
Oh.
It's so wild. And as I get older, those timelines are so weird. Like, remember when that thing happened? I'm like, oh yeah, that was probably 2012. They're like, nah, dude, it was like 96. And I'm like, what? It was like a time warp. It was like I disappeared for a decade, then came back.
So while my wife was homesick, she likes to lay in bed and watch TV, and I like to join her. And so we were watching some TV, and I was like, man, that actress, she seems so young, and she's 42 years old. I'm like, oh. I guess she's
right.
Not young. That's not young anymore. People born in the 80s, not young.
Yeah, when you see the kids that you see movies like with kids in it, like Haley Joel Osment, and you realize and you're like, oh, what's he up to? And you realize he's like 37 now. And the last time you saw him, he was like, a toddler in that Bruce Willis movie.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, incredible. So, what do you have for us today, buddy?
Man, I got a good one for you.
You got a tasty one, do you?
And I think this is one of those ones where we've all probably had a certain moment like this where you're staying at an establishment and you're not sure if it's the right fit. And
so you're saying staying like at a hotel? And
staying at a hotel and you're not sure if there's bed bugs or
just getting a little weird vibe
or whatever. You get a little weird vibe. And this guy suppressed his gut feeling to get out of there.
Now, where was this, by the way?
So this is in Las Vegas.
In Vegas?
Yes,
Las
Vegas.
Well, that's kind of weird because I know that they had a major bed bug outbreak. Was it last summer? Going into that or whatever?
Well, this is last December. A gentleman was staying at a hotel in Las Vegas that had been undergoing some serious construction. But during construction, some of the construction workers reported a serious infestation of scorpions.
Scorpions?
Scorpions. They had some pictures of these little brown-looking nasty scorpions.
Yeah, they're way smaller than you think. We found one in our shower one time, and it was smaller than a roach. Like, it was pretty darn small. The ones you see in the movies are always like crawling around like they're like iguana size almost.
So the big ones you don't have to worry about as much, I don't think. I think it's those small ones you got to worry about. So this gentleman was staying at a hotel that was apparently infested with these apparently poisonous, deadly scorpions, according to the lawsuit, and was laying in bed and felt a little pinch. And when I say a little pinch, he describes it in the lawsuit like a piece of glass slicing him.
Ow.
And started like shifting and shuffling in the bed, and then felt it again, and had been struck multiple times by the scorpion stinger in his genitals. And
I'm sorry,
in the genitals.
In.
So he got stung in both parts of
the twig or the giggleberries.
I think it's the giggleberries, based off the way the lawsuit is describing.
Do not make him say that.
Wait, it was where again?
The giggleberries.
Okay,
Thank you, Ray.
I made it perfectly clear.
I didn't hear that part.
Right next to the twig.
Right next to the twig.
Just below the twig.
I love this cat.
And apparently that has resulted in his inability to perform sexually.
No!
Like ever again?
No way,
It's been
really?
since December, so almost a full year.
Oh my! Well, if they're poisonous, I mean, do we know? Has he suffered any permanent injury?
Like, did it swell
I mean,
up?
that to me would be a permanent injury.
That is a permanent.
yeah.
That's as permanent as it gets.
So I imagine, and I don't know a lot about scorpions. We've got some scorpions here in Florida, but they're pretty benign. But if they have like a venom that affects your
nervous system,
like snakes do, I imagine it could be a permanent problem. And so he filed a lawsuit saying that he hasn't been able to engage in sexual acts for this lawsuit was just filed in August. And also he has PTSD. He's not able to sleep at night. He wakes up with cold sweats. He's,
probably checks the sheets every 30 seconds to make sure there isn't a bug.
I'd probably be sleeping naked on the floor somewhere, I guess. It's just
and it was the hotel.
Jackie's not talking about after a night out.
Look, I'm looking at the story, and like the hotel, we can say the hotel, right? Because obviously it's being sued. It's Venetian.
Yeah, it's a nice hotel.
Isn't the Venetian supposed to be a relatively nice place?
It's a very nice hotel.
I've never stayed there, but I know a lot of people. I mean, when they do poker events and you get online, you talk to people. They say at the Venetian they like it. And he said that afterwards he went to the restroom and saw the scorpion hanging from his underwear.
Oh,
so he actually had the wherewithal to take a picture of it, which
thank goodness.
I mean, for the lawsuit purposes, thank goodness, right? Because it's how do you know that scorpion attacked you where you say it attacked you? He's got pretty good proof.
Hanging from his underwear.
Unbelievable, man.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I think this is a very viable lawsuit. I'm very surprised it hasn't been settled already. Generally the standard for a common carrier like a hotel or a taxi also falls into that is higher than like a normal business. And so they've got a duty to warn and protect their customers.
Yeah.
And so I'm very surprised this hasn't settled already. I don't know what damages are that he's asking for. I imagine it's pretty significant given the injuries.
Yeah, because here's the other part of this, Ray, that I would never have, because you automatically think like this. And it's weird because it says here in the context of the story, it says that not only does he have the lawsuit, but she is now suing for, is it consortium? Is that the word?
Consortium.
Yeah, consortium. Is that what it is? Yep. So basically his wife can also sue because now her husband can't perform his husbandly duties. Well, not that part of it anyway.
Well, and that is why the cause of action exists, right? As a married couple, you assume that that's a part of the deal. And
how do you put a price on that? Like, how could you put a price on it?
They got away.
They've been putting a price on that for millennia.
Longer.
Well, but there's no slide rule that says if you're stung by a scorpion 3 times in the scrotum and you're this old and it happened in Vegas, there's no slide rule that gives you a number like that. But, the guy's 62 years old and not taking anything away from them because you can still be very sexually active at 62 years old.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you this. I had a case not too long ago, but there was a loss of consortium claim, and actually the spouse's loss of consortium claim was higher than the person who got injured's claim for personal injury damages.
Really?
The loss of consortium was actually higher
than the actual physical damage. So the loss of the ability to have sex was worth more than just maybe having a hurt arm,
according to the jury.
Wow. But you can understand that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's you talk about the human needs, water, sleep, food, and reproduction. I mean, it's one of the things that we are as a species driven to do, even without anybody saying, hey, you should probably have sex sometime.
Right.
That's just something that naturally occurs in us. Unbelievable. He says it affects on the family, work, everything.
Well, you can imagine the depression that sets in, the frustration that sets in for both husband and wife. They've had their lives literally turned upside down. This could be a active couple who made love a couple times a week.
Yeah.
And now it's been almost a year, and because they're married, and if he's in his 60s, that may mean they've been married for a long time. You don't want to have to go outside your relationship.
Right.
Now the scorpion sting that's deciding where you go with your marriage.
Now the guy is claiming the worst possible thing that could happen in this lawsuit, which is that the hotel had previous knowledge that they had an issue with this infestation, that it was commonly known with the management of the property that there was a possibility they had a scorpion infestation, which I've never even heard of, man. I mean,
I haven't either.
Now, we know that Vegas and a few of the hotels in Vegas did have bed bug issues last year before.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a thing, you know. But man, I've never even heard of an infestation of scorpions.
And apparently, with the construction, some of the construction workers had mentioned to management that they had seen that there was this infestation, and so once that knowledge exists, the hotel has to take proper precaution, one, to eliminate the danger and the risk, but also to warn people that, hey, by the way, we've got an infestation of these poisonous scorpions. And be extra careful.
You're not going to say that. That's not a bonus to stay, by the way.
Well,
no,
you don't say,
not.
hey, you get free breakfast. We're going to give you some drinks, some gambling shit. Oh, by the way, not a lot of people offering this these days, but we also have a scorpion infestation we're offering today. So
somebody just texted us at 77031. Ray, this is a great question. I'm supposed to stay there in November. Has the issue been resolved? I mean, is this something that if you're staying there and you say, listen, I've read these news reports, and before I arrive,
I would absolutely call them because one.
Well, I mean, they lied about it once.
One, you want to make sure you have a plan in place. And if you're going to be there going a couple months, you have some time.
Right.
But number two, I imagine they have remedied this. You can't necessarily use that as evidence in a lawsuit to prove that they did anything wrong, and so that's why a lot of times that doesn't make it into the news story or even the lawsuit for that matter. I would certainly hope that is a situation they have fixed at this point, because if not, I can only imagine what happens after the first person gets stung and they don't take care of that. That's
especially if they're poisonous.
Yeah, I'm looking at there's a photograph on this story, and it has his underwear in the story and the scorpion, and it's tiny. I mean, it's so small comparatively. It's like, one digit of your finger. It's really not that big at all. And not. I mean, of course, it doesn't need to be as long as it's got a stinger.
You're just talking about the scorpion.
The scorpion.
Correct?
Stop it!
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yes, I'm trying to keep this moving.
Why now?
But real quick, let me ask you real quick. So let's say I have a property the size of the Venetian. Somebody can look up how many rooms the Venetian has. It's got to be like 500, 750, 1,000 rooms or something like that. It's one of the major complexes in Las Vegas. So let's say they get some complaints from the construction company and said, hey, look, I don't know if you guys know this, but as we're working around the property, we've seen an inordinate amount of scorpions. You're in the desert, so you're going to see things like that because you are in the desert. How many rooms?
How many do you think?
I said 750 to 1,000 rooms.
The Venetian has...
I think it's one of the biggest ones in Vegas.
I think it's like 1,200.
7,100.
Whoa!
So it's a complex. It's
Yeah, it's
massive,
big.
right? So with that said, if the hotel, to defend themselves at the time that this happened, just said, hey, we're going to get a company to come out and take a look and see. And they investigated, and the people who came out, who were professionals, bonded, licensed, the whole 9 yards, did not find appropriate evidence for an infestation. Would that work for the hotel? Would that work? Because they could say, hey, look, we did this. We investigated this. We couldn't find any evidence of this. I mean, what are we supposed to do next?
So
you can't put a tent over a hotel with 7,000 rooms.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
That's a good point.
There's 2 towers, so that's two tents you need.
It's a lot of tents, Jack.
So
Too many tents.
So here's what I'll say. So does that go to the reasonableness of the actions they took after the fact? Absolutely. And does that somehow go into the analysis of whether or not they satisfied their duty to protect people? Certainly. But they also have a duty to warn people. So even if they did absolutely everything possible, they hired the top rate bonded exterminators, and they went in with the walls with all their technology, and they couldn't find a single scorpion. You still have a duty to warn people this potentially dangerous hazard. It's the same reason why when you go to a grocery store and there's water on the floor, they don't just have the young store clerk mop it up.
Yeah.
They also put the
Sign
wet
up.
floor
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
Hell, they do
because-
that here.
Right. They want to make sure that not only did they remedy the situation, but they also warn you. And that's all those signs are for, right?
Yeah, it's just plausible deniability.
There you go.
Well, so to warn people.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
So
I love that wry smile. I love it.
So, I think from a practical standpoint, hopefully they did take some type of action, but they had to warn people. Infestations are one of those things too that I don't know if they're always immediately, verifiable, right? They could be in the walls. I don't really know much about scorpions. You can probably tell that by this conversation. But it might be something where it's hard to find this infestation of scorpions. And so I think you also have to assume a little bit that even if that information came back, the exterminator said, hey, we didn't find it. It's probably like, hey, we didn't find them yet.
Right.
But
that's what I'm saying, like the plausible deniability thing. But if you went through the process that is expected in a property that size to at least verify whether or not there's an issue that they could handle, their inspectors are professionals with a good reputation, and they found nothing. I mean, how much does that get you out of it? I mean, you still made the effort. Does that lessen the damages at all because the hotel made an effort to do that? I mean, because they could clearly say, hey, look, there are anomalies for everything. I mean, theoretically, one of my servers could have dropped hot coffee on you, and it's not like we have a hot coffee problem. We just had one accident at one time.
Yeah, when you say does it lessen the damages, I don't think it lessens the damages. The damages are the damages, and if this person didn't get warned and they didn't, and they got injured, I think there's still going to be a big problem for the hotel.
Oh my God, dude! If you Google scorpion infestations, that is a photograph built for nightmares.
I'm not going to do it then.
You just talked me out of doing it.
And the reason why is you see this horde of scorpions, right? Like if they're in a bowl, and then they have baby scorpions
On their
riding
back.
on top of them.
Yeah. I did.
Get out.
I did catch a mother scorpion with all the babies on top of the back, and then as kids do, you flick it a little bit, and all the scorpions scatter.
Oh my Jesus!
but it was like a normal Florida scorpion when I was like 6.
Okay, look at this. This is a scorpion infestation in a house. That's what it looks like. Look at that.
Let me see.
You can't even see the.
You can't even see the floor.
You can't see the floor. That's how many there are. Wow. That's in one closet of one area in the house.
Can you imagine? You're in Las Vegas, right? You've been pretty lucky on the floor. You go up to your room. You're feeling pretty good. Maybe had a couple drinks. You walk in, you can't even see the floor because there's so many scorpions.
Nope.
God, I got to tell you,
burn the place down.
I mean, I say this a lot, but I had no idea that they operated like that. I thought they were relatively not lone by any means, but I thought that I didn't know that they worked like that, like infestations, like ants or.
Because you always see one in the desert in a movie.
That's it,
right?
Oh my God! Oh, then they glow under black light, and then when you're glowing, you can see the babies even better on their back. And this one has like 20 of them.
You think it's in that discount hotel, the on the side of the road because you were saving a few bucks. You didn't say on the strip. You don't think of it as the biggest hotel in Vegas.
Exactly. Right.
7,000 rooms plus.
You expect the Flamingo to have problems like this, but not the Venetian.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Great case, by the way.
We'll see what happens.
So, what do you think is going to happen here? If you were litigating this, like, what would you ask for? I mean, that's a fair question, right?
I'd like to think that they've tried to settle this and they weren't able to settle it, so it's going to go in front of a jury. And so let's say it does make it in front of a jury. I think conservatively, you're probably looking at $3 to $5 million.
Yeah. Do you think that the couple believes that they can get a better deal in front of a jury and they've denied? Maybe like, let's say if the hotel offered, hey, we'll give you $1 million, or like, no chance. My lawyer's saying this is worth $3 to $5 and in front of a jury, so that's what we're going to do.
So normally I would say my answer would be, well, it really depends on the jury pool and what juries do in Las Vegas. But Las Vegas hotels own every part of the Las Vegas
and of those
industry.
Right, and of those hotels, there's only like, 4 or 5 really big players there? Like back when Steve Wynn was part of that thing, there's a lot of those guys, Sheldon Adelson and guys like that.
So I imagine juries are probably pretty stingy at coming after those big casinos. So I don't know if it's they wanted a bigger offer or they thought they could get a better offer from the jury versus the offer was maybe a little bit low and they thought that they're being
could you imagine if your hotel, if they found out you're employed at one of the other hotels, and that could get real sketchy, especially if you're drawing from that area, because outside of, like, Henderson is the closest city that's not part of Vegas. That's where a lot of people who work in the city live, in those surrounding areas. So, wow, man, what an interesting case.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it for sure. There you go, Ray Trindley, man, killing it. Good job. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Let's take a little break. We'll come back a little bit more with Ray, and we'll get the hell out of here on a Monday. You heard it here first, coming up next.
Tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
What's going on, everybody? Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergman here. What you saw today, you're going to see a lot more of over the next week, with lots of showers, lots of downpours and storms each afternoon and evening. We're not going to have any reduction in the rain chances until at least Saturday. Maybe a little bit of a drier pattern heading into early next week. In the tropics, Hurricane Francine will make landfall on the Louisiana coast second half of Wednesday. It'll be a major impact to Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and coastal Louisiana.
This report is sponsored by Early Learning Coalition of Seminole. Every child learns in their own way, and the ELC of Seminole is passionate about sparking meaningful connections. Their school readiness programs support income-eligible families by offering scholarships to programs that foster early learning and development. Get started today at sparkyoungminds.com.
Hey guys, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Rebath in Mid-Florida. Man, these guys are awesome. This is a father and son business. Been doing it here in Central Florida for like 10, 12 years. And when I say doing it, what they've been doing is replacing people's terrible bathrooms with beautiful bathrooms that they can love for years, enhancing every person's property, making it look better, making it worth more money. And they do a great job of that because they offer incredible products. When you go to the showroom, they're up at 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. You can walk in and see the quality of the products. Put your hands on it. Feel that quality. It's right there. there. And these are brands that you've known forever. And the cool thing is you get multiple choices of tubs and sinks and lighting and tiles and cabinetry. It's all right there. They even have a design team to take your ideas, use their product catalog to create a bathroom you are going to love for years. And if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, you'll also get $800 in free upgrades. Log on to the website, check out the before and afters, look and see what they've actually done for people, including our friend Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training. Then make your own appointment. Your new bathroom's right there now. It's about guys at rebathmidfla.com.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Biden is dead set to fulfill his agenda before leaving office. Translation, more money printing and soaring inflation. Is gold the answer to protect your savings and retirement? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't let inflation wreck your IRA or 401k. Act now to secure your future. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Mount Dora is where the ultimate barbecue collides with bacon, beer, and smooth bourbon at the Pitmasters and Pourers event. Join us on September 14th from 3 to 8 p.m. at Elizabeth Evans Park. Enjoy great food, along with live music by the Shaylin Band, interactive entertainment, college football viewing, and more. Sponsored by Visit Lake and Yingling. Tickets $12 in advance and $15 at the gate. Visit pitmastersandpourers.com. That's pitmastersandpourers.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
I'm Olivia. When I was injured in a car crash, I knew from listening to the station who I needed to call. I called attorney Glenn Klossman. I knew I had a super lawyer on my side. I was extremely happy with the results. I'm Olivia, and I highly recommend attorney Glenn Klossman, Office Winter Park.
Next weekend at International Diamond Center, you can buy like a dealer buys with extreme values on all GIA certified diamonds. September 20th through the 22nd, it's IDC's annual diamond sale with extra savings on an entire collection of hand-picked, natural, rare diamonds, all shapes and all sizes. Rounds, ovals, princess cuts, cushion cuts, emerald cuts, perfectly cut diamonds, certified by the most prestigious gem lab in the world. Get the best price of the year and take advantage of 36 months zero-interest financing on any purchase. And for this event, you can match that diamond with the perfect ring from Tacori or Veragio. Both world-class designers are flying in their entire collections for this, both bridal and fashion lines. So come join us as we open the IDC Vault and showcase the largest selection of diamonds you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. Create the ring of your dreams and get 3 years zero-interest financing. It's September 20th through the 22nd, exclusively at International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations. On approved credit.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. In Office Orlando.
Vice President Harris.
They are out of their mind.
Former President Trump.
We have to set the record straight.
Go toe-to-toe in Philly.
The presidential debate.
Listen Tuesday night at 9 Eastern on iHeart's 24/7 News Channel.
Or search debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Biden is dead set to fulfill his agenda before leaving office. Translation, more money printing and soaring inflation. Is gold the answer to protect your savings and retirement? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't let inflation wreck your IRA or 401k. Act now to secure your future. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 for your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in, or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Look ahead
with the team at TK Law to plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. Are you offended? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hey crew, I'm 47 years old, born and raised in Florida. I've only ever seen one scorpion. That was in the 90s when I was in middle school. Not long ago, I spent 2 years working in Georgia, and every day, almost every day, saw a scorpion in my cabin, to the point where I'd come in and clear it like a Delta Force operator because I didn't want to get stuck in my no-nos either. Even got to the point I changed my sheets to light colors only so I could shake them out and make sure they weren't there because they were the little tiny brown scorpions.
Yeah, they're tiny. Who has colored sheets?
The cabin you rent when you're working in Georgia.
Yeah, right. I've only had colored sheets one time in my life.
I grew up with them.
Did you really?
Yeah, patterns.
Yeah, exactly.
Race
For
cars.
sheets? Like your bottom sheet had a pattern?
Yeah.
Wild.
You don't ever get like the blue sheets or the red sheets?
No, dude, I'm not down for that. I'm a
The
white sheet kind
flower
of guy.
pattern?
Don't say anything, Jack.
Little.
When you say you're a white sheet kind of guy and you're from Putnam County, some things happen. You gotta be very careful with it.
It's easy to make the connection.
Yeah, they're intact, though. They're intact. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. I am Jim.
How
There's
dare
Deb.
you steal that joke from us?
There's
Hello.
Deb. Jack is here as well. Ray Trinley hanging out for the last segment as well, buddy. You got a big week from you in front of you?
I got a big month for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, the rep was telling me
busy.
a lot of arguing, huh?
A lot of arguing. Hopefully, a lot of winning.
Yeah, that's great. Some big time pending cases, or just
Yeah, a couple big cases that are pending. A bunch of trials coming up, and just
you get more nervous? Is there more on the line, or you look at every situation the same?
no. I like the challenge of being in a courtroom, so there's really not like a nervous thing that happens. I think the only thing that really happens that makes you nervous is when you really feel like your client should win. They've done all the right things. Those are usually the hardest cases.
Yeah.
Because you feel like they've done their best job at being the best client.
Yeah.
You know.
Other attorneys tell us that the judge that you pull is also a big factor in some of that stuff.
I do a pretty good job with the judges.
Yeah, that's-
I like
that's
I
a good
like
thing.
I like people. So
All right, 407-916-1041. Of course, Ray Trinley is TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. That's the office right there in Altamont Springs, handling a myriad of different legal aspects there in his firm, everything from personal injury to divorces, estate issues, and everything in between.
Everything in
Again,
between?
that's onefirmforlife.com. Deb,
what?
Let's do You Heard It Here first.
I guess.
It's time for You Heard It Here First on the Jim Colbert Show.
Yeah, and the Kentucky State Police says the search for the suspect in Saturday's shootings on Interstate 75 has become, quote, methodical. Master Trooper Scotty Pennington said they have a plan.
We're focused on protecting the residents and their homes and the businesses during this critical time. Our goal is to apply steady pressure and wearing Mr. Couch down.
Yeah, 5 people were seriously injured when a gunman opened fire along a stretch of the freeway in Laurel County, and that includes 2 Lee County residents. Renee Walker and Eric Tabin, who live in Fort Myers, say they're recovering following Saturday's incident. Investigators say they recovered an AR-15 rifle from the woods near the interstate. 32-year-old Joseph Couch has been named as the man they're looking for. U.S. Marshals and the FBI are also looking for the suspect, who's considered armed and dangerous. Kentucky State Police are offering a $5,000 reward for anyone with information that leads to his arrest. And as you can imagine, a number of area schools made the decision today to call off classes.
Absolutely.
As that search continues. All right, closer to home, unfortunately, a man was killed in what Daytona Beach police officers are describing as a deadly road rage shooting outside of McDonald's. This happened on LPGA Boulevard at about 8 o'clock Sunday evening.
I know exactly where that is, by the way.
Officers arrived to the scene to find a woman performing CPR on a man with apparent gunshot wounds in the parking lot, while another man standing nearby approached officers and identified himself as the shooter. Detectives say their preliminary investigation suggests the shooting stemmed from a road rage incident that started in the drive-through lane, then an altercation occurred in the parking lot, and the shooter claimed he fired in fear for his life. The victim, identified as 30-year-old Brian Collins, was pronounced dead at the scene. The investigation is still ongoing, and no charges have been filed.
Yeah.
Still sad either way,
Yeah,
right?
for sure,
A
yeah.
30-year-old. And then I know we did cover this earlier as breaking news, but actor James Earl Jones has died at the age of 93. He was most well known for being the voice of one Star Wars character.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. No, I am your father.
Yeah, Jones also starred in other films such as The Sandlot, Hunt for Red October, and Field of Dreams.
People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Jones is among a group of select entertainers known as an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. He passed away at his home in New York.
What a full life, man. That guy had a solid career for most of his entire life and was well respected. That's the best thing you could say.
And you heard it here first on The Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you, Deborah, very much. Who do we have to thank today?
Well, we want to start by thanking friendly attorney Ray Trendley
Look at
from
that
TK Law.
Look at that handsome devil.
I know.
Not
OneFirmForLife.com.
Not one scorpion sting anywhere near his testes.
You don't know that.
I do know it.
Also want to thank Brandon Kravitz from our sister station 96.9 The Game. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and probably Candace Rich less because she's out watching Michael Bublé
Who is
for
right
running.
now like
It's a rough
tailgating
day,
for
right?
Bublé.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Sam.
Bublé, that is like a charcuterie board and champagne tailgate is what that is.
For running our YouTube chat.
Jack, question of the day, buddy?
Yes. Do you believe Ray Trendley offered his services pro bono to Tyreek Hill after Sunday's altercation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. My favorite thing about that entire case. Oh, by the way, do you have a question?
I do. We have a legit one. In total, how much would you spend for a friend's wedding? The breakdown was under $100, between $100 and $200, between $200 and $400, or more.
Probably the second one, between $100 and $200 is what I have to guess.
57% is the biggest. Second is 33%, a third of them for under 100. 2% between 2 and 4, but 8% for more than 400.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Saying people are saying
I don't know. It's always expensive when you go to somebody's wedding.
That's the thing. I mean, the story was that 1 out of 3 people are saying no, that they're not going to weddings anymore because it's just too damn expensive. You know, they said the
It's
average
an expensive party to have.
Right. It is. The average cost to go to a wedding just out of town, it doesn't have to be out of the state or anything. It's like $1,000.
Well, I was gonna say, especially if you factor in a hotel for one night, you've already spent that whole money.
Yeah, 100%.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, good seeing you, buddy. Always good seeing you.
Appreciate you guys.
OneFirmForLife.com. Again, that's Ray Trendley. Offices right there in Altamont Springs at TK Law. Let's go, Jack. It's time to go home.
I agree.
Let's see, coming up tomorrow, we'll have What'd You Do That's New. We'll have our celebrity guest, Russ Rollins, will join us for that. It's Only Money with our buddy Scott Brown. Of course, more opportunities for you to win in trivia. Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets up for grabs as well. And more of us.
You're lucky.
On behalf of Deb and Jack and Ray, I am Jim.
And C. Lane will be joining you.
Very
Yay.
nice. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Monday evening.
And stay dry.
Go Jets.
Our Lord. A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.